So,
We didn't just hear it this time, we saw it.
That's just
uh,
that is the most singularly unique hiccup I have ever heard.
Thank you, I get that a lot.
yeah, this is why we love Raptor. So, right, I really hope that I prepped this properly because I've not done any prep for the last day because that's how I DM. So,
That's how most people play D&D, so...
Here on Paramatta, life isn't easy. The gangs get the first selection of whatever food is grown or hunted, and there's often fights over the rest. It's not uncommon to hear a fight most nights. Maybe, once a week, a strangled scream as the fight turns into something worse. The people never seem to be the same, either relocating to safe shelters, being dragged off, or just disappearing, and new people showing up. Despite this place, you've all managed to keep yourselves together in your time here, be it short or long. Simon Tremaine. You recently managed to acquire a small container of some very potent material. The nervous halfling you obtained it from said, It's grung stuff, it's really good. Small sips though, small sips, man. He didn't really specify exactly how many small sips to take, and after humiliating Tosh in a small bout of revelry, you found yourself finishing the other half of the container before tottering outside. At least it seemed like outside. There were definitely stars, but after your head managed to collide with something quite solid, you couldn't be sure if they were really there. You woke up on a cold stone floor strewn with straw, finding yourself in a small cell. Your gentle buzz was turning into a dreadful hangover, but fortunately the bucket of water thrown over you was followed by a wineskin. Cradling it like a mother with her child, you were led to a larger room, an office perhaps, where a pair of avian eyes watched you from behind an ornately inscribed beak and a mahogany desk. You sat in one of the 4 chairs on the near side. Korp. You've kept out of Paramatta for the most part, finding it easier to get by under your own labours in the forests. The wildlife is plentiful, sometimes too much so, and you learned quickly which parts of the forest to avoid. The only bow you have is a rotten affair, so you found it easier to work with traps. You check the snares each morning and each night, and on this morning you see the tripwire for your snare has been broken. Climbing up into the tree to check the net, your hand snags something. A second tripwire. Before you can think, the sound of a rope sliding over wood, the stone counterweight falling, and your unfamiliar net sweeps around you, dragging you into the canopy where a large feathered humanoid sits, apparently waiting for you. As he pokes you with a spear, he says, "You primitives never think to look for traps, do you?" Ignoring whatever response you might give, he jumps, grabbing the net in the talons of his feet, and flies you towards a small walled cluster of stone buildings, a small way from the main town. You don't enjoy the trip. I've got a fucking burp building up here, shit. Big wall of text, guys, by the way, might have overdone it. After setting you down, he leads you into a blocky stone building, where 2 more of his kind flank the doorway. He leads you into an office of some kind, where you can see a white feathered avian with golden flecks in his cheek feathers, and a beak with ornate designs inscribed upon it, sitting opposite a half-elf, who seems to be having difficulty remaining upright in his chair. You sit beside him. Darkness. Granny needed the helm of a Lastuas Dominion guard. Granny didn't explain why, or give much of an idea on how to get one without causing some kind of massive backlash against her and the rest of the Rodderhorns. Granny expected you to get it done all the same. Fortunately, you did have an idea or two. Attacking a guard was naturally a terrible idea, but if a helmet from the armory went missing, nobody would mind, at least not enough to cause you problems. The difficulty was making it into the elevated district without being seen. The guards might not patrol the rest of this town, but they kept a strong presence there. Fortunately, you knew your way around town. Near the elevated district, a well had sat unused since before you arrived, its water foul and toxic. Using the uneven walls, you slipped in, your feet splashing into a stream of foul-smelling liquid. From there, you had an idea, and it paid off. Following the stream, the cave narrowed into a constructed stone sewer. Holding your breath and following along, you emerged in a small washroom, where fortunately a bucket of fresh water allowed you to rinse off your boots. As you crept through the building, hoping the early morning would leave the guards on shift drowsy, you found the armory. Spears, glaives, and a few simple swords didn't interest you. As you lifted the golden bronze helm, you heard footsteps behind you. Before you could move, 3 guards entered, their spears levelled towards you. A smaller 4th peeked from behind them. No, don't kill her. That's the one Greca purchased the other night. The paperwork would be dreadful. Just bring her through to him. A pair of manacles were strapped to you, and you were brought to an office, where a swaying half-elf and a dwarf were seated across from an Aarakocra in light yellow robes. You recognized a few arcane symbols woven into the fabric and inscribed into his beak. As you sat, 2 of the guards who had found you remained, keeping an eye on the situation. Mathias Inelun. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm probably not.
Perfect. Well done.
You've kept going these last few months, preying not on the weak and cowardly as many here do, but on those who would hunt them. The larger gangs aren't safe targets to go after, but there are a few smaller groups whose food supplies you've liberated, as you've dealt with their former owners. A few of the people here would be happy to offer you what they can for your help, and between that and the occasional thank you package from the group at the Owl's Bear Paw Inn, you've been able to keep things together. Unfortunately, you're no nearer to escaping this place than anyone else is, but that doesn't deter you. Your sheer drive and force of will won't let it. This morning isn't a good time for a force of will. Waking in your small, run-down shack of a home, you usually don't have as many Aarakocra here. Certainly not ones pointing spears at your face. The good news is, they don't spear you to death as you quickly choose the fight option from fight or flight. The bad news is, by the time they're dragging you away, you've managed to get as many bruises as you've given out, and you gave out quite a few. Spitting blood from your mouth, you find you've been dragged into the elevated district, into an armory, and sat down beside a half-elf, a dwarf, and a tiefling, who seems to be wearing the same kind of manacles you are. Across from the table, a bored-looking Aarakocra suddenly brightens, apparently glad that, at last, everyone has arrived. Finally. So, hello. You are, as of this morning, the property of the Augury Enclave. He looks down at the parchment before him, as if double-checking some details. I am Grekatark, and I have been tasked with overseeing your activities and preserving your health where possible. When we are concluded with this meeting, you will be given lodgings suitable to your station and the supplies you require for your work. Once you have those, you will be transported to an ancient structure known as the Sunless Citadel. There, your task is to enter the structure and recover as many magical items, artefacts, as much lore, anything of use as possible. When your work is complete, you will signal the airship crew for pickup and be returned here, where you will present your findings for inspection. If your acquisitions are considered worthwhile, you will receive rewards. If they are not, you will be replaced. I am assured that you should have the necessary skills to enter this ruin and identify whatever magics may be present there. If you have questions, now would be the time to ask them. If you have issue with this arrangement, you can go back to living in the mud. When you find yourselves in agreement, he reaches under his desk and pulls out 4 bracers, each made of brass with a clasp and a small blue gem embedded in them. Attach these to your wrists and return to the guards outside.
You got anything stronger than this?
Yes. But not for you.
I then presumably just start drinking on the wineskin.
Mathias walks up to the desk, picks up one of the bracelets, puts it on, and just walks straight out of
Jerry, isn't he?
Chatty, definitely not.
At least one of you seems to know your place. Excellent. Of the rest? Questions? Anything?
How do we signal to get collected?
I believe, yes, you simply press on the gem for 1 minute and the crew shall be notified. They'll give you the details once you arrive, the specifics.
I'm gonna walk up and take one, but look at it suspiciously.
It is suspicious.
Ask what it's for.
To make sure that you don't go running away.
And what should happen should we stray?
Okay, hang on. Raptor first.
Last time I picked up something ancient as magical and brass, it went horribly.
Well, this isn't quite so ancient then, so it should be fine.
It's older than my last drink. That's all that matters.
Okay. Look at.
And what should happen should we stray?
Should you stray, you will be probably removed, since you're causing an issue. I mean, you really don't want to be straying.
I go and pick up one of the braces and put it on, walk out.
I attempt to pick up one of the braces on varying levels of success based on sobriety.
Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
First roll.
Or just a Constitution check, your choice which. I don't know if it'll make any difference.
Okay.
As you lean down to grab the bracer, it's a bit close to the edge of the desk, and you know, put a bit too much weight behind this, You collapsed to the floor because you completely missed it. You were seeing double.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Help him, would you? The two guards like pick you up and forcibly attach it to your wrist, and then kind of. Well, the rest of you already. The rest of you have already gone outside, yeah. I think. Yeah.
No, I just put it on.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put it on now.
So it's just fucking Mathias who put it on and just walked straight outside.
What was the name of the guy with the white feathers and golden flecks again?
Greca Targ.
Cricket.
I will give you a spelling.
I guess right.
Hooray!
And is there anything that we should know about in the Sunless Citadel? Any obstacles we might face?
I have no idea the kind of obstacles you would face. You'll find out when you get there. That's the point of you.
I'm going to ask, has there been another dwarf come through here recently?
How the hell should I know? Possibly not the person to be asking. Right, so are there any other questions, or would you just like to get out of my hair?
I'm going to go.
No, probably best to go now.
One last thing. Hang on, where the fuck is it? Ah, shite. 3 seconds. It might be in a different note. Apparently I completely forgot to write it down somewhere. Anyway, Blue Cat, sorry, Darkness, make a Constitution saving throw, please. I can kind of remember what I was doing.
Oh, hang on, I didn't switch it off to all. There we go.
What is that?
You've got second
Also a
from
7.
me.
Nice. So he looks at you and begins to mutter a few like arcane words, and like his hands are doing somatic stuff. You aren't entirely sure what he's just done, but it was something. Oh, absolutely. Where the fuck is it? So before you leave, he just mentions the Citadel is near a small human settlement of some kind. You might be able to find out more about the ruin there. And also, if you can find the braces of the last group we sent, that would be appreciated.
Can I tell if he's lying or telling the truth?
Make an insight check. You're trying to get a read on like whether he's telling the truth, if there was another last group kind of thing.
Yeah, how do I make the insight check?
Just click on the skill insight in the skills list, and it should roll it for you.
No.
Are you in edit mode?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be the issue. Everyone turn off edit mode if you haven't already. Ooh, 19. Yeah, he seems like he's telling the truth. He genuinely wants those braces back.
Okay. Another
Right.
group of 4? How many braces are we looking for?
He starts shuffling around his notes. I think we only sent 2. If you find more, then I'm wrong.
Fair enough.
You know, paperwork. It's hard to keep track of these things. It's not like it's the largest investment. Anyway, with a quick motion to the guards, or in the case of some of you, you've walked outside of your own volition, you're brought together outside of the guard post / armory into the crisp morning air. They guide you to a large airship of familiar design. 6 crystalline structures hum gently in brass housings, 3 on each side of the acacia wood vessel. Another larger crystal sits in the centre of the deck. Your whole party is brought down into the hold and into a simple cabin, and after removing the manacles from Darkness and Mathias, the door is locked behind you. In here you do find a few packs of equipment which become your starting equipment. And in this cabin you spend most of your journey. Days pass. Without the sun it can be difficult to tell exactly how many. At the behest of Dahan, a young and eager scholar of the Augury Enclave, you do get a chance to stand on deck every so often and breathe some fresh air. As you travel, you might exchange some stories, or perhaps you'd rather sit in sullen silence. In either case, can you each please take a moment to describe your characters and give an idea of how you feel about your current situation?
Well, if you haven't guessed yet, I'm a seething, raging alcoholic.
And his character is too.
Yeah, that's about right.
So, I'm a hill dwarf from the tundra, and I was part of a clan of hunting, and I'm out looking for my father, who went mysteriously missing.
Mathias is a young man, early 20s, tall, wide shoulders, big like me. He has a lot of muscles, but like massive, but they are quite visible. He's got a gaunt face, so there's like lots of bone showing, short hair. During the journey, he isn't really talking much about things which aren't relating to what's currently going on. Doesn't really answer any questions about anything. Doesn't ask any questions about anything.
Alright, is anybody else getting him cutting out very slightly?
He's choppy.
Yeah, about that microphone gagging, Mr. Sound Engineer. Can you just get right on there? It's a lovely phallic one you've got. Just see there, that works. That works.
I don't think it fits.
There's only one way to find
Do I need
out.
to repeat what I said?
Anything? No. I think we all got the
No,
gist
no,
of
it was
it.
just
Yeah.
Okay.
Blue cat.
So Darkness is a tiefling who was on her way to steal something. But I'm just, generally chatting away with people, charming anyone I can, and enjoying the ride in the sky until we get there.
I'm trying not to be seasick.
There's no sea.
Or any other kind of sick.
There is a bit of turbulence on occasion. It'd be more like plane sick or that kind of thing.
Travel motion sickness. Or any
So,
other kind of sickness.
Yeah, you got to work on phrasing there, Blue Cat, because basically what you just said was that you're chatting people up and getting the ride. It's fine. We understood that's totally not what you meant. Accidental
That's
character
what I meant.
developments.
I would have said it.
So, eventually, you're all brought on deck. Sorry, there's a lot of clapping going on.
That is a lot of clapping.
Yeah, these aren't my playlists, and I'm pretty sure some of them are shit. Some of the songs in them, at least. So if we end up on some techno rhythm, that's not meant to happen unless I specifically intended it. In which case, that didn't happen
So
either.
unless we're being attacked by Warforged.
Yes. If you hear Skrillex, something's gone wrong. Eventually, you're brought on deck together at once. At first, you seem to be in a thick fog, but after a moment, you descend from the clouds and see before you a green landscape, rolling hills, a forest, and a few sparse mountains. In the far distance, you see a massive mountain stretching through the clouds, which Darkness and Mathias recognize as Secord. Peering over, you begin to see a small town forming at the edge of the forest as you draw nearer. And if you all look in your handouts, you will find a mini shitty map there.
Cool.
Geography.
Yes. I couldn't pass up the pun for the sake of I needed a shitty name, so. Dahan pipes up. So, we're going to drop you off at Raven's Peak. From there, you should be able to make your way into the ravine to reach the ruins. You'll need to find a way in and scout the place, find whatever you can of a magical nature. Oh, and if you find any more of the bracers that you've got on your wrist, you should retrieve those too. So, when you're done, you just press against the gem in your bracer for 1 minute, and you wait at Raven's Peak for retrieval. That's where we're going to drop you off. If you don't signal within a week and you aren't dead, well, don't do that. It's just stressful, honestly. Oh, the town over there is called Oakhurst, Oakverse, something oaky. Anyway, if you need supplies or anything, you should be able to find them there. And I think that's everything. Yeah, that sounds about right. Good luck. And with that, ropes are lowered, and you climb down to the top of a hill larger than most of the others, atop which sits a cairn of rocks. From here, you can see the town and the ravine not too far away. The ropes are pulled back, and the ship begins to shrink smaller and smaller before passing once again into the clouds. What would you like to do?
Drink.
Oh.
You, fortunately, the
Sorry.
guards were kind towards your disposition, and, once or twice when you brought out, they just, shared a few drinks with you, had a bit of a laugh. Usually at your expense.
Hey,
But fortunately, you haven't spent this trip dry.
Thankfully for everyone.
Hmm.
So does anyone need anything from the town?
Presumably not.
We could get some information.
We could. Or we could just go get this over.
How long would the trip to the town take?
Based on, like, you're here on top of the hill, you can see both locations. It'd be like an hour or two to reach either one of them. They're not that far away.
Mathias is going to say, I think going to the town would be a good idea, so that we know more about what the hell it is we're doing.
It's as good as any idea we've had.
This would be a good time to figure out if you're a democracy and you vote on things, or if one of you just says what you're doing. A constitution, not necessary. They don't work anyway.
Well, we've established that with 2 7s on the saving throws.
Alright, so 3 of you have mentioned wanting to go to town, so I assume that's what you do?
Yeah.
If no one says anything back to Mathias, he will just start walking.
Yeah. So, you make your way towards this small settlement, and as you near it, you see a thin line of white powder crossing the path and extending into the grasses beyond. The village itself, I assume you just step past that.
If Mathias is in front, he's going to look at the powder first.
Can you give me an investigation check?
That could go perfectly well. Well,
it's fine. It's fine. You're getting your bad rolls out now, guys. It's
That's
a good idea. Yeah, that's
When
the
it comes to
theory.
combat, we're gonna...
Yeah, this seems to be
20s.
this. You look at it, and it seems to be powder. It seems to be white.
White.
it might, in fact, be a white powder.
Yes,
You should
yes,
try
that's what I'm
snorting
getting from
it.
this.
You're not sure if you would go that far, but it is quite likely.
I'll be honest, I'd take a look at it.
You-
Before I'd poke it.
Anybody who wants to like try and figure out if there's anything they can determine from it can make an investigation check.
Should we all do it?
Yeah, feel free.
I think we can safely conclude it's
Oh!
a 9.
So
Oh wow.
the first 3 of you poking it, you know, maybe like I don't know, maybe like putting in little lines and potentially trying to snort it. You don't figure out anything, and it's definitely not cocaine. Korp,
Well, then we figured that out.
kind of fitting since you might have the most experience with it. This appears to be bone, powdered
That's
bone.
interesting.
It's probably just marking a boundary of something.
Anyway, as you continue onwards, the village is small, but a number of buildings do stand out. The largest, naturally, it's a 2-story structure with a large roof. There's a building with its door open that has a small gnome painting in front of it. There's an inn with a faded sign standing nearby, and also another building akin to a warehouse bearing the signage Hukrel General Goods.
Mathias will walk up to the gnome and go, "Hail, friend. Why do you have a line of bone powder outside your town?"
I just realised this is probably the worst person to be asking this. This is hilarious. So, as you head forward, you see this building has a sun, the symbol of Pelor, emblazoned in yellow paint across the front of it. The door is open. The gnome is in paint-stained overalls, painstakingly adding elegant streaks of flame to the image. As she sees you approach, she puts the brush down and brightens, welcoming you warmly. You note that as she sees your wrists, a brief expression of concern washes over her face. And as you ask, "What's with the bone?" she just goes, That's a bit of an awkward story. Hiya, my name's Corky. The bone, it's kind of been a thing about this town for as long as I've been here. It's the protection, more or less. A lot of the townsfolk rely on it. I personally, I know the Pelor totally has me in this regard, but, a lot of them. Anyway, I'm Corky. Hi, who are you?
I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I am Mathias, and of course, the gods protect us all.
Did you just do a fucking cross, mate?
Yeah. I don't know, I'm rolling with it.
No, Jesus.
Getting into
My
character.
hands took away from me. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Mathias continues. I noticed you relaxed the bracer. It is unfortunate.
You're not the first ones to have those to come through here.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good situation, from what I gathered from the others.
So the bone is just for tradition, then?
It's as much tradition as I think it might be some kind of old magic. I mean, I haven't really... It's not really a good idea to mess with such things when you find them. So I just... It doesn't seem to harm anyone. I just roll with it. Do you want some tea or anything? Is there anything I can do?
Mathias just kind of deadpans in that and then just turns around and looks at the other party members.
So what's outside the bone circle that you don't want coming in?
Well, I don't think it's so much meant to be protecting against a specific thing. I mean, there is the goblins. They haven't been a problem for years, though. I mean, we've got an arrangement with them. They don't attack the town, or they don't even raid the roads anymore, which is great. I think it's more the case of...
Pottery?
What? What was that about pottery?
An arrangement with goblins? They're
Arrangement of goblins.
Listen,
like flowers.
I didn't set it up. I don't know what the deal is, but apparently, like, it kind of works. They're willing to trade us a pretty useful item once a year, and also the rest of the time they don't attack us because we give them gold for the thing. It's all good. It's great. Good deal.
A really useful item.
Well, not once a year, twice a year, really, but the other one is no. So they kind of... We don't know where they get it, but there's an apple they sell us at the summer solstice, and there's an apple they sell us at the Sorry, I can't speak, I'm a gnome. At the winter solstice. Racist against your own people, whatever. The one from the summer solstice is pretty good. It seems to be a really powerful healing agent. I mean, if anybody's sick at all, we give it to them and they're right as rain within, like, half an hour, if not 0.5 seconds. The winter one, though, yeah, we've learned not to even touch that because that one is like the opposite. That one's pretty bad. We stopped buying that one after the first time. I mean, it just didn't seem like it. Don't
Maybe
come
an
with
apple
that.
round winter might be a bit ominous.
I mean, we do now, but what do you like? Do you think that actually apples don't really grow around winter? That is a really good point. We should have thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh, And I mean, most of the community here are farmers as well. We really should have picked up on that. And like, yeah, that is a very good point. Are you a farmer, sir? Do you know a lot about crop rotations?
What about apples? Or
Apples?
make out of apples.
I mean, I've seen... I don't want to judge. You seem like a lovely person. You see her
I'm pretty sure I've seen you drink a ridiculous amount of cider. I don't know if it was apple cider.
Some of you might know him because he kind of made a name for himself in Paramatta as the guy who will outdrink anybody, even the fucking Goliath bartender.
And where do the goblins come from? Are they...
There's some old ruin in the ravine. I mean, I don't know how long it's been there. Like before this town even showed up, I think.
Is it by chance some sort of great big citadel-like thing?
Well, citadels usually aren't underground, so...
I don't know, dwarves have them.
That's also... that.
Those grumpy ones with red beard, grey skin, live in the what's name? Underdark.
No, like dwarves usually like they'll hollow out something or they'll build a really nice... They build more fortresses than citadels, but that's really a technicality and I'm not an architect. I guess you could call it a citadel. We don't really go over there. We kind of meet with the goblins halfway towards it, and I mean it's not like we don't go there. It's not a nice place. It's not a safe place. Like, we don't even... the farmers don't even graze their cattle anywhere near it. Like, we stay away.
So the goblins hold the Citadel?
They seem to. I mean, it seems to be where they come from whenever we go to trade.
Right.
You're gonna follow the others and go down there, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
I need to.
They didn't come back, and neither did the two townsfolk who went with them. It's...
Well then, clearly it must be a wonderful place down there.
I mean, from what I know of your situation, I don't know if there's anything I could do to help you, but just be safe. Bring...
Got anything to drink?
For you, yeah, I do. And she like asks you to, like, welcomes you inside if you'd like to follow her in, where she will gladly present each of you with a cup of wine. Because that's what churches do. Churches drink wine.
Okay, she pours the cup of wine. I go for the bottle. It's been a long day.
It's
Oh, come on.
It's
darling.
about
I mean,
it's about
we're going
midday.
off to a
It's
bad
really early.
place, like,
Yeah,
we
but
could use the bottle. Be nice.
yeah, you know what? You're just
Mathias is
don't
good
go in
with,
there
like,
while don't go in there drunk. Just
impatiently.
Matthias, what?
It's safer
He's
for
just
everyone.
tapping his foot impatiently by a
if I do
door
it
with his arms
drunk.
crossed.
Are you not drinking and or praying?
No,
Because
Mathias is not drinking anything.
Oh,
He's just
extra
trying to
glass.
what about Korp? Is he? Sorry, he's a dwarf. Never mind. I should have assumed.
He thinks the wine is too
Yeah.
weak.
I mean, it's not the best stuff, but you know, you get what you pay for, and it's kind of a very small village, far away from anything else, and there doesn't seem to be any grapevines here, so it's impressive they got wine at all.
Mathias asks, would anyone else in this town know more about the Citadel?
You could. It might be a difficult subject, but you could ask Sharwin. It was her kids. They kind of, well, they're not really kids anymore, but they were. Oh, they were kind of work. Well, to me, they're kids. They kind of.
Get on with it!
Sorry. they went in there to try and help the two who were going in, the two who had the bracers, and they didn't come back either. So
Why
she
don't we go and help?
why? Because you're being forced against your will to go into a pretty scary place, and they wanted to do some good. They wanted to help. I'd like to help as well, but I mean,
You already have.
I don't like to stray. I don't like to stray too far from Pelor's Light. So that kind of place, it's not good, dude. Also, I say dude now. I'm a gnome who says dude.
Light exists everywhere.
Nomish for friend.
Light exists everywhere, but that's a ravine. That's like underground-ish. Light doesn't
But
go
light's
there
inside
very
you.
long. That is true. Pelor's Light is always inside of us, but you know, you gotta stay
Where
where he's
could we
definitely
find her
watching.
to ask her questions?
Sharwin, she runs the general store. It's it's fairly well signposted. She like points out the door towards
Thank you, yes.
Hukrell
We saw.
trading, whatever it was.
Are we all done drinking?
Nope.
He's never done drinking.
Hang on.
I suppose you can bring the bottle.
Why don't you
Hello?
polish off the glasses quickly?
Busy?
Okay, I polish off
I
the
don't
bottle.
even know
I
what's
mean,
in
this
this.
big glass.
What flavor?
I was thinking you could take the bottle with you.
Sorry guys,
Grab a
I was
glass,
having
maybe?
chocolate forced upon me. What happened in the last 8 seconds?
We're just watching the half-elf drink, basically.
Seconds just drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like him drinking will be a major theme of this campaign.
yeah.
I should do to you what I did to Bungalow.
Alright. So
So we
Mathias
good
just
to
assumes he's gonna follow and heads out to the general store.
Yeah, we better go with him, guys, because
Yep. And he just wanders off again without announcing.
Where the fuck? Scrolly.
So we follow after him to the general store.
So,
After finishing the bottle.
this general store seems to basically be a large kind of warehouse kind of situation. You enter, and behind a desk that's kind of just been thrown in there near the front of these large double doors, you see a human woman there, just like she's there, like with a black book, just like looking through some figures or something, you know, doing a bit of maths, whatever. She doesn't have a calculator because it's not that kind of world. But she sees you all enter and goes, welcome. Oh. Because she's clearly noticed immediately the bracers. As everyone will, because it's dramatic effect. What can I do for you?
We were wondering if you might know anything about the Citadel nearby.
Obviously, we kind of know that this might be a sensitive subject, and very respectfully,
she
we'd
looks
like to
down.
just ask how long ago your kids left.
She looked down for a moment after he mentioned the Citadel, and as she looks up, you can see tears streaking down her face, and my ability to properly roleplay this character breaking down.
Go on, do your best.
It was a month ago. My Talgan and Sharwin, they went in with two like you, and she's there, like she's kind of close to breaking, but obviously I can't roleplay that, so effort.
Mathias will lean across the desk and
say they're dead.
No, if she doesn't move away, he will take one of her hands in both of his hands.
She's kind of like, what the fuck, but she doesn't necessarily, like, she jerks back a little bit, but not leaning back into a limbo kind of situation.
He follows up with, "Look, I am sorry for your loss, but if we are not to die today, anything you might know would be very helpful."
You're going in there?
We don't have much of a choice.
Yes,
what
the drunk one said.
Nobody around the town knows very much about it. It's been there for as long as anyone has. And the goblins, when we trade with them... Oh god, the goblins definitely got them. Sad face. I can't keep it in immersion, guys, I'm sorry. I was hoping when they're trading for the apples sometime in the next week or two, and I was hoping that we could find out then when if they're still there. And god, they're gone. If this, I can't give you much to help, but if you find them, or if you find even just their family ring, and like she shows you a distinct signet ring on her finger, if you find that, I can give you something for it, please. Just if you find anything.
See what we can do.
Thank you, please come again. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
What a version.
This will be a running theme because I cannot keep a game serious even if I can write one that is technically serious.
And you had to put apples again in it.
What do you mean I have to put apples in it again? Oh god, now I remembered. Fuck. Technically, they weren't a main theme last time. It was just there was one guy. Deckard Cain.
Apples.
Stay a while and
you guys
listen to my stories of apples.
Yeah. So
anyway, to get this back on track, I presume.
Yeah, just to explain that side bit briefly, there's a person with an orchard in the campaign that I ran for Damon and some others, and basically I ran that guy as a crazy old Deckard Cain person. It was bad. Anyway, back on track. Yes.
Mathias just says, "We will look for them."
Thank
Turns
you.
to his companions and says, "Do we want anything here, or are we done?"
Probably best to get a move on.
Yep, done.
Sounds good. Let's go. And he's gone.
All right.
Just
Well,
heading
this guy's on a mission.
wherever. we're just heading straight towards whatever
What's
the
he going to
closest
do?
point of the
Goblin
ravine is.
pike inspection. Tip first.
Alright, so give me about 8 seconds to find the part of this that I have prepared the least.
This is the part with where the people with characters who might actually think about things might want to go, could we wait a week and check out the goblins? I can't remember what the
Oh
deadline
no,
was for these.
that is not an option for you. Jesus
No?
Christ, no.
What was the deadline again?
You've got a week.
Yeah.
A week
Yeah.
and a week. You can make that work.
No, no.
Never mind.
There's the man storming off over the horizon. Let's
Hey,
wait
I'm
a
not.
while.
I'm not my character. All right.
I didn't realize I actually perfectly set this up so if you did try and just wait for the trade to happen, you will die. I'm a genius. God, DMing's great. Anyway, so as you follow what this old pathway, it passes to the east of this narrow ravine. At the road's closest approach to the cleft, I'm just basically listing the existing description and I don't know what it is. There are several broken pillars that you see just jutting from the earth where the ravine widens. 2 of the pillars do stand straight, but most are leaning in on top of sloped earth. There's a few which are broken, and a number of them have just broken and fallen into the dark depths. A few similar pillars are visible on the opposite side of the ravine. You do find fairly easily a sturdy knotted rope, or as I've tied it, rop, is tied to one of the leaning pillars on this side of the ravine. And looking down, you see darkness.
What's she doing?
But
Here.
if I lean over and look, what do I see?
You also see darkness. Oh, you've got some
I've
kind of
got
dark
dark
vision,
vision.
don't you?
I've
Yeah.
got dark vision as
Anyone
well.
with dark vision, as you lean over, let me just double check. Ooh, you can see just how far are your dark visions?
60
I've-
feet.
I got 60.
Okay, anyone with 60, which apparently is fucking everybody, except humans probably. So anybody with at least 60 feet of dark vision, you can see just at the very edge of your vision, at the bottom of this rope, there appears to be a ledge.
I'm in that first step.
So, we're going down?
Do you descend?
Well, I can't exactly see us going up from here.
Anyone have practice in mountaineering?
Is that kind of a drinking contest?
I mean, I guess I'm a ranger, so I'm a natural explorer. So I ignore difficult terrain and all that. So
Depends whether we think anyone's going to be down there. Like, I'm pretty stealthy.
I'm stealthy as well. If you're traveling alone, you can move stealthily at a normal pace. Ooh.
Who's going
I'm
first,
gonna
guys?
climb down the rope.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm sobering up. Either I'm going to die or get mugged by boobs.
Maybe we'll find some.
How tipsy are you feeling right now? You haven't. How drunk are you feeling? Like, okay, I'm just gonna ask straight out. Do you want me to sometimes just give you difficult checks that nobody else would even need to make because you've been drinking, or would you rather avoid that kind of cruelty?
Avoid that for the sake
Yeah,
of simplicity at the
it
moment.
feels like it would just cause problems. So,
What I should probably take is wisdom saves when I start sobering up, and you know why.
oh yeah, lol. Okay, so you descend into the darkness. As you reach... God, sorry, I'm just looking at one of the other fucking maps that I've made, and it is... Sorry, never mind.
Finding it work of MS Paint.
This isn't actually MS Paint. I'll have you all know this is like Map Tool or Campaign Cartographer or something. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, so as you descend to the bottom, make a perception check quickly, please.
Oh dear. Perception.
As I just
Not bad
quickly.
considering I get a -1.
Where the fuck is it?
Should we all do one, or
Yeah, everybody do one, please. As each of you
I
descends.
can't
Who's
see,
next? Who's
yeah.
next? Who's next?
I'll go next.
As a Mathias sees people
Alright.
going down, does anyone have torches?
Torches?
As you ask that,
Never needed them.
you hear a small sound of "oh what" from those at the bottom, as the rest of you see moving from the various bits of rubble that are strewn around here, because it's not a simple cliff edge. This place is fucking wrecked. There's a mess everywhere. Emerging towards you, as I totally forget how to use this application. 3 giant rats approach. Can everybody please roll initiative as I bring up the fucking initiative? Which one of these buttons is initiative? Oh, it's that one. Fantastic. I'm so prepared you don't even know what you're dealing with.
I'm reading something. You have advantage on initiative rolls. Okay.
You do?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's fucking huge.
In my natural explorer thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty fucking beef.
It's
So-
not letting me roll initiative.
You have to select your
You have
token.
to select your token. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That is a pain in the hole.
Oops.
You think you've got issues? I have to do it all manually
Times.
because I can't remember how to do it properly. No character was found for. Oh, it's because they're not set to. Oh, it's because I had to. Oh, fuck my life. Yeah, I have to do it manually for each fucking monster.
Well, isn't that the way it's supposed to be done?
No, I meant to be able to press the button, but I can't. I have to actually. And then I have to manually input them. So if a fight has a lot of monsters, it's a pain in the hole. Anyway,
Guys.
you've all rolled initiative, excellent. So
It's
descend.
gonna be a long time before your friend comes down.
Korp, you are a ranger. You were expecting shit to go down. You see the rattos. What would you like to do?
So the rat closest to us to the right, I think. I think I'm gonna fire an arrow at, because I don't like it.
Pulling out your new bow quickly, you aim it at the rat and make an attack roll.
What's the scale? How big is this pet?
Hang on. Sorry, they're small, but I'm pretty sure the tokens are either. Oh, the scale. Yeah, I disabled the grid. You guys are basically 5 feet across. Each of you.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, my mouth's full of chocolate now. Shit. Yeah, your attack.
How dreadful.
You're not used to using this bow yet. You did like string it a few times and pull it a few times while you were on the ship, but you have not yet fired it properly. And as you just pull back and loose, it's a lot more powerful than you were expecting and just flies straight over the rat because you're a piece of shit.
The arrow, however, remains in your hand.
Exactly. Because the DM fucked up some of his description. This rat runs forward towards the closest target it can see. As why do I keep closing the fucking window for their fucking...
Top
Where's the...
marks.
open it in a new window. Put it on my left. Oh, I've got a really bad bit jammed where my fucking wisdom tooth's being a bitch. Anyway, it totally tries to bite you. What's your armor class?
13.
Oh, it tries for the bite, but it digs into whatever clothes you're wearing because it's a piece of shit rat and it can't do fucking shit. Fortunately, its buddy runs up, and as you're about to feel like you're being swarmed by rats,
It what?
it rolls 2 natural ones. You're fine.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is 1 in 400. That's insane.
that was really fast math. That's insane. Darkness, you can see this
really.
kerfuffle going on at the bottom. If you quickly slide down the rope, you could probably reach the combat in time, but you wouldn't have any movement past that, probably.
Okay, well that's what I do.
Yeah, you just quickly fucking swoosh with the fucking rope sliding between your fingers. It burns, but you're a tiefling, so you don't give a fuck. Simon Tremaine, it is your turn. The rattos have attacked you, but you're feeling a bit sorry for them and the DM. What would you like to do?
Okay, now, I'm not familiar all that much with Fifth. Isn't there a 5... You can move 5 feet without provoking an attack?
If you move basically outside of their range, then they will provoke. They will get an opportunity attack against you.
I thought that you could... they got rid of 5 foot step then.
I've never even heard of that, so yes, they did.
Right, in that case, I'm just going to have to wallop a rat. They're too close for me to do much.
I believe the game is called Whack-A-Rat, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whack-a-mole.
So
Whack
yeah.
my mole.
Oh.
Whack my rat,
I'm
rather.
going to attempt to stab a rat to death.
Stab a spear.
You pull out your spear, and it
I
is
crit it.
the left one or the right one?
Oh, left.
The left one, the one that rolls 2 natural ones, though you couldn't
Yes.
possibly know that. You just whip out this spear and stab downwards, and it's just right in the shoulder. Like, this thing is squealing. It's not quite dead yet, but this is a rat who's having a very bad day, and if he survives this encounter, it will never attack a drunk man again, because they're because drunk men get fucking fighty. Right, this other rat, seeing that you're in front, will just fucking rush towards you, because rats just attack the closest thing to them. Oh, and he fucking gets...
Nat ones.
No, not nat ones. I thought it was a natural 20, but it was not. It was very close, though. He just bites into your ankle with 4 piercing damages. You're like, oh shit! If you haven't used Roll20 before, yeah, you can just, in the red circle, just click there, type -4, and it will do the math for you. Could be handy thing to know. Roll20 tips, guys. Pro strats. With that, Mathias, you can hear all of this going down at the bottom. Once again, you, like Darkness, could just slide down the rope to reach the battle, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to do anything unless you had ranged attacks. Excuse me, I burped.
So it's like completely dark down there.
It is very dark. Oh wait, you're human.
Yes.
Yeah, you can hear the sounds of fighting and squealing and like stabbing and a drunk man
Right.
going, "Fucking the rat!" Because he goes Scottish when he's drunk, innit? But you can't actually see a fucking thing.
Well, I do speak Dwarven, so probably.
Is
I
it
find
an
that offensive.
action to take a candle out of my backpack and light it?
You mean a torch. A candle.
No.
might make me very
He
hot.
also
a
has
candle.
candles. I will
No,
say, do you have Tinder? I'm not going to be a dick and rule that.
Hello.
I'll say you
Yes,
can.
I do.
I might give that to you as a bonus action, but I will mention sliding down a rope with a candle in one hand. I mean, it's difficult enough sliding down it to begin with, and you're just going to be like, "I am the candle man. Behold."
This
You know,
music
take
comes from
candle,
Augury in
as
the
the
Blind
kobolds say.
Forest. I was expecting a kobold reference at some point.
No, I don't like Hearthstone kobolds. Fuck them.
Alright.
Or rather, don't.
So
Rat dog things. All kobolds are dragon-like. Everybody knows this.
Yeah.
Dragon-like and die quickly.
yeah.
Not that part.
So right. So so you're saying it's a bonus action?
Yeah, I'll give it to you as a bonus action.
Really?
You know, I mean, if I feel like you're going to use candles to terrifying effect in combat, I'll make it an action. But, you know...
So Mathias is going to say to himself, and they say I rush into things, and slide down the rope, and light a candle at the bottom.
You slide down the rope, and once you get to the bottom, you can't see shit. But you've you had the candle just quickly in your pocket, ready to access. You just whip it out,
Sure.
and a 5-foot radius of light appears.
Bright light, 5 foot, dim light, 3 foot.
You can see
That is, he can see 2 rats in the very dim darkness, and he'll have disadvantage on attacks against them if he does a ranged attack. And he can see the rat very close to him.
So I'm
The
not,
ra-
Yeah.
I'm not in range for that close rat, right?
The rope is around here. I'm gonna say, just gonna shove you guys out of the way. There you go. There you are. Happy
Okay,
birthday.
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
You're
You're all having a big snuggle.
He's just going to look very annoyed. No. can I use
Actually,
the action
now
to
they're
dash?
all. Can you use an action to what?
Dash is the dash
Ah!
movement down the rope. Is that
I'm. It feels like it should be, so yeah, fuck it, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that makes
Okay,
sense.
yeah.
Alright, yeah, he's just gonna stand there and look annoyed.
Okay. Korp, it is back to your turn. What would you like to do?
I need to. They're beasts, so I forgot to put. I had a +2 bonus to damage rolls, weapon attacks against them.
Okay.
I keep forgetting. So mentioned.
Yeah. I will. Sorry. Make a note somewhere that you're able to set up macros in Roll20. We'll try and figure it out at some point. It'll basically let you, like, if it's a beast, you can just click this button for your attacks instead of a different one, or have a second attack set up. Basically, it's a good idea.
So
for now, we'll just slog through it manually.
So I'm going to move to this ratty here.
Yes. His name is Frederick the Third.
Okay. Is there any way I could put the +2?
Just roll it, and we'll just manually add it. Right,
Okay.
right now it'll be a pain in the hole. So,
Yeah.
is it a +2 to the attack roll or just the damage roll?
Well, I'm doing bad with the hits, but it says +2 bonus to damage rolls.
Yeah, okay, so that misses, and also does not get additional damage because it missed. So you just swipe with the hand axe, but this rat is very low, and despite you being a dwarf and also being low, you still fuck up and don't hit it. It's like, come on, dude. You have advantage on this. You're a fucking dwarf. Except not actual advantage, not that one.
Kitty.
Yeah, I don't imagine there's any bonus actions you'd like to do. So on to Mr. Other Frederick II. They're all named Frederick, really. Those are shit rats. The one you didn't spear bites at you again. And it is successful, and you take 6 piercing damage as it sinks its fangs into you.
Well, I'm on 1.
Yeah. These rats are
Ouch.
terrifying.
Here,
Its buddy, however, seeing some prick just lit something, is gonna kind of fucking panic and scurry towards the light and start biting at that.
Oh, fabulous.
Fabulous it rolled a natural 1. I think that's the same one that it did the last time as well.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Yeah, it
amazing.
is. Worst rat
One.
ever.
Oh. With that darkness as you stand in the light, what would you like to do?
Laugh.
Well, I'd like to hand Matthias torch.
You pull out a torch and you just like I'll hand it to him. Do you take it, Matthias? Do you take the torch?
Yes.
Yes, you take the torch and probably light that with your candle, which is what candles are for. But that'll be on your turn. Until then, you're just holding a torch. I'll say that's
I
a.
assume I can do that as my bonus action.
I'm going to let that be a bonus, yeah. Unless, of course, as I said before, if you turn handing people torches into an extremely powerful use of your weaponry, you know.
No. And can I get sneak attack on the rat?
You can, because it's surrounded by your buddies. Indeed.
So I need to attack him. So I just click dagger. Is that?
That is the button that kills people. No, it's not. That's the natural one.
You get it? Don't you get it? No, I think
She doesn't. It's not that she gets advantage with an ally nearby. It's that she doesn't need it for the sneak attack. So you swipe towards this rat. However, you know it's small. The light, you weren't really expecting it. What the fuck? Oh my god! Die! Just they're stabbing wildly, and it's dodging despite being a fat fucker. Simon Tremaine, you know you're feeling a bit woozy, but it's not from the alcohol. It's from the blood loss. What would you like to do?
Well,
Your ankles are in bits.
seems like we don't have 5-foot steps anymore. I'm going to have to stab the rat I tried to stab earlier.
That I believe is the one that just ran around you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You pulled out your spear. You stab in again, and this time you don't get the leg. You get the fucking head.
Yeah.
This rat's fucking gone. You stabbed it. You killed a rat. Well done. First kill of the campaign, everybody.
And he seems to be rolling the perfect hit rolls as well.
He's the only one who can actually hit things who isn't a rat.
And I'm doing this whilst drunk.
I'm gonna say like tipsy or like buzzing or something, not necessarily drunk. You've got a high tolerance, and that wine was weak.
Yeah.
It was church wine, like. So this rat here is going to stab towards Korp. Only it's not stabbing; it's biting, because that's how rats work. What is your armor class, Korp?
For 14.
Then it hits. You take 4 piercing damage as it manages to sneak its way past your armor. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just bites your beard, and that gives you psychic damage. You know, you're a dwarf, so could be a thing.
Down to 9.
A raptor appears suddenly. Oh man, we should definitely be running whatever that recent campaign with dinosaurs was. That would be so much more reasonable. Matthias, it is your turn. You hold a candle in one hand and a torch in the other.
Right. he's going to chuck the candle against the wall nearby and just forget it ever existed. He's going to. Sorry?
I presume you're going to do that after lighting the torch.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Oh, shit! I just accidentally reloaded Roll20.
God damn it, man.
Sorry, I was trying to click something else, and the fucking reload button was right above it, and I might be about to fuck up my god. Hang on, no,
Is
it's fine.
Raptor frozen for anybody else, or is it just me?
He's been getting frozen for me on occasion.
Just short skirts for me. Why does everyone else have a feline?
I'm sorry.
God, sorry.
Look at my little baby.
Your feline is black and very sociable. I'm being taunted by cats.
None of my cats are here. That makes you feel better.
What?
Anyway,
Yeah,
can somebody
cat envy.
press the button for torch in chat so that I can adjust the fucking aura on him and just let me know how far a fucking torch shines a light for?
Oh, that's much better.
20 feet.
It's like the entire area almost.
As the torch light, it illuminates this area as black smoke comes from it, and you can see there's lots of rats and also a ledge, and also apparently you're not alone down here. Also, as you throw the candle off into the piles of rubble that are around you, like rocky, shitty terrain, it like just vanishes into a crevasse and like it's gone. Fuck that candle.
Oh, okay, I'll mark that off. Hoping to pick it up later, but I suppose the candle doesn't
So,
matter.
I'll be kind, and
with
once
his-
again, that's a bonus action. What would you like to do as your actual action?
Mathias is gonna move to the side of Raptor, go for the lowest rat, if there's a path for that.
They are both the same health, and neither of them is smaller than the other. You can easily step over the dead rat, or in fact squeeze past people right now. Where would you like you can move yourself. So
Oh, I
yeah,
forgot that.
do
was
that,
the
and if I say that you can't move yourself that far, then I will just stab you and it'll all be good. You're on the wrong tool. You need to
Apparently
choose the move
yes.
tool as opposed to the measurement tool. I mean, I know you're all for measuring your tool, but now it's not the time.
So I can move to here, right?
Yes, you can, and if you'd like to make an attack roll, you need to click the
Sweet.
attack roll button.
Yes, he will draw his longsword in his hand that isn't holding the torch, and make an attack.
I mean, you could try and hit it with
Holy mother of God!
You just quickly, like, you don't just slice that rat, you dice that rat. It's
He's
just
very angry about the whole not being able to get down there. He's just like,
as it's like biting onto Simon's foot, you just swing really close and like it just like there's a huge sparks as it clangs against the wooden floor through the rat, and Simon's just there like, you almost got my fucking foot, dude, come on.
he doesn't
I'm
care.
not
He's just
drinking
looking
up
at
for
the rat.
this.
But it is very fucking dead. Korp, with that, it is your turn.
Right, here's for the great hit rolls of my hand axe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ow.
come on.
Ouch!
You're there swinging with the hand axe, and you just kind of like drop it first, like you fumble with it and it falls, and like you catch it and just like, oh shit, hope nobody saw that. Nobody? Good. With that is your turn. This rat is dead. This rat is dead. Darkness, it is your turn. What would you like to do? You just saw Korp look like an absolute fool fumbling with his hand axe.
Like to go around the other side of the rat.
Yep, you just
and-
skirt around
Good cat for evil laughing.
easily enough, and then you make your stabbies. I'm sorry, did I say you make your stabbies? You make your failies.
I flail in the air.
Just the two of you with these like short weapons, like just a hand axe and a dagger, but both not very long, and then the other two are there with a long sword and a spear, and they're like, what the fuck are these idiots doing? They brought fucking cutlery.
If you've got two daggers, can you use the second one for a bonus attack?
She can, actually. I forgot to look up the rules, and that doesn't matter because I would have forgotten them anyway. Does anyone know the rules for two-weapon fighting?
Hold
So
on.
you have a bonus attack. You roll to hit and to damage the same, but you don't add your proficiency to the damage of the second attack.
Yeah.
think
Or
about
to the attack roll, I believe.
I don't know.
Okay. Let's all take the 10 minutes it takes to research this. You can tell that this is a problem for me because I've already got it in my search history and I never can figure it out.
Oh.
No, you still get the ability modifier on the to hit.
The ability modifier or the proficiency or both?
Both. It doesn't even mention proficiency.
Really? Both? Fucking shit. Okay, fucking
Yeah,
go for it,
but
dude.
you lose the damage bonus from your ability modifier on the second hit. So if
So
you have like
basically-
+5, that's like 5 damage you just lost. It's kind of not great. But it is extra damage, so like why not?
Yeah.
And she'll still be getting the sneak attack because she hasn't used it this round.
Yeah.
I'm gonna double check on that, but feel free to make your second attack roll.
So am I still just clicking dagger?
Yes, you're still just clicking dagger,
There's
and
a lot of words
and
there.
we will click dagger. We will manually subtract the ability modifier from the damage if you hit, which apparently you did.
Wow.
Well done.
So that's 3 damage. I would guess.
Hang on.
Since the other one is a red box, it was a 1.
Once per turn. Yeah, okay, and you can also add your sneak attack to this because a 20 hits. Would you believe?
Where do I find
I
that?
thought these guys had real armor.
Your sneak attack should be in like your class features or something, and I'm pretty sure I set it to also roll the dice when you click it, like bottom right somewhere.
Cool.
Yes, so that is
6
Eight.
damage total.
6 damage total. So you slice into this rat and you like do a big carving on its back, and it's twitching there, but this rat ain't dead. This rat's alive. This rat's got something left in it, and it turns to you with blood in its eyes. It's just like, I will have my revenge. And it bites into you, and we will see if it is successful. I fucking closed the window again. Oh my god, how the fuck do I do this every time? Oh, professional DM, guys, professional DM. What's your armor class?
13.
Oh, it hits you for 3 piercing damage. As it's there with like your fucking dagger in its back, there's a load of blood, but it's there on its last leg, like, gonna fucking get you, motherfucker. Is what you imagine it would be saying if rats could speak and it had more than like 1 intelligence. As it just
Sweet,
bites
sweet.
into you successfully, because you're just there like, ha, it's dead. Oh shit, my fucking ankle.
Ow!
With that, Mathias, it is your turn.
Mathias is going to move up over the dead
Don't
rat.
I go after the third rat?
No, you
Yeah,
go
I've got-
after Darkness. No, wait, it was Darkness's turn. What the fuck?
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
my
it's
turn.
you. Sorry,
It's my turn before the rat.
I completely forgot to actually bump up the turn order. My bad. Go.
Quit.
Whatever.
Simple enough.
Fuck off. Stab it!
Yay! Gun.
Which of
Okay.
course means that darkness does not take the damage.
That's
I will.
Because according to the tone
Oh
order,
shit.
I go before the
Yeah.
rat.
Okay. Darkness. Subtract the damage.
Yay!
Fucking little shit here, Raptor BB is being all like,
good.
you
Lawyer for
don't know
us.
what you're
Lawyer
doing.
like a
Mm.
boss.
You know what, Raptor? How about you DM? Huh? How about you DM? Would you like to DM now?
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
No, rocks fall, drunkards die.
DMing again.
I've heard that story before. So.
And with that, it appears that you've defeated these giant rats. Simon's looking a bit worse for wear, but when doesn't he?
Mathias is going to turn to Simon and just stare at him pointedly for about 20 seconds.
Simon,
Didn't
you
be long.
Last longer.
hang on. Simon, can you please roll me an insight check?
When I find the button.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, you can see that he's looking at you pointedly. Fairly pointedly. Mostly that was a fun effect if you got less than a 10, but whatever.
Yeah, paint a picture, it'll last longer. And
I'll
I'm
paint a
going to
picture so I remember you when you die.
move down here to
Torch.
look. I don't
Yes,
need a
thank you.
torch.
Do you want it back? Do you want it back?
No, but I could ask a favor in return.
Oh.
Ooh,
What did you have in mind?
I'm thinking that we could use some general healing help here, and I think that might just be your territory.
It's a...
Actually, he's only corporal healing.
There's a joke. I know there is.
Oh,
Oh, that's
1d10
terrible.
1d10 psychic damage IRL.
Yes, literally just taking damage. Sorry. Mathias is going to give her a stare too, because he likes staring at people when he's angry. 3?
He was saying 3 into like real life psychic damage.
Good.
Even rolled a real life
I need
die
to keep.
for it.
I need to keep track of my real life hit points. Yeah, Mathias is going to stare at her a bit and then turn to Simon, lay a hand on his shoulder, do a glowy, give him 4 hit points with this. And
Simon, you feel
Hooray!
a warmth on your shoulder,
Hey.
and it's not, you haven't spilled your drink on it, so you're not sure what it is for a moment. But like you feel instantly better, as if your ankles weren't just bitten to shreds by a bunch of rats.
The calves are still wrecked, but
Mathias is going to say, next time can we let the guy with all the, you know, clank clank go
well, then
first?
perhaps next time the guy with all the clank clank shouldn't hesitate so much.
You know, I might be able
I need a
to
touch!
help out here because I don't really I quite like the darkness. So how about if you just keep the healing coming, then you can have my torches and my tinderbox.
That was the most vain statement ever.
I am mostly out of healing for today. To be honest,
I'll buy
I will
it in
not
advance.
say low.
I'll buy it in advance.
That works for me. Fine.
Okay, so I hand you 9 torches and a tinderbox.
Alright. I already have the tinderbox. You can keep the tinderbox. I have one.
Fine. Thankful.
These 9 torches are in addition to.
The one you already have.
Yeah.
Alright. I am going to go and get that from the compendium.
Excuse me.
That is just amazing. I can't imagine ever getting tired of that.
Trust me, when you've had it for years, you do.
That's a good point.
So, do you proceed forward? You can see towards this bottom area. Well, 3 of you can see towards the bottom of this stairway. There appears to be a small courtyard-like structure.
Mathias is gonna stir the torches, humph, angrily, turn around and start walking.
In the
I
dark.
sarcastically bow and gesture
holding
towards
his
the
torch.
slopes.
Okay.
He's got a torch. He's sad he doesn't have a shield, but yeah, he's got a shield slung on his back, torch in the left hand, sword in the right hand.
Surely it would be better to have your sword sheathed, and then you can hold the torch in your right hand, have your shield up, then drop the torch and draw your sword.
That sounds
Borderline how
logical.
I'm a drunkard.
This is great. I have this ridiculously stupid character and don't know how to play this game, and you've got the drunkards, and you actually seem to know how to play the game.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be harder to get your shield than it is to get your sword.
This is so impeccably logical. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. He's holding,
He
holding
doesn't-
shield in left hand, torch in right, and sword in scabbard.
How bad have things gotten when you're looking at somebody who seems to be perpetually drunk and alcoholic, and you're looking up at them like, this is such a role model for me, oh my god.
I've a lifetime's experience of not dying.
That's actually quite useful information, to be honest.
He hasn't died before, I know I can trust him, he's not undead. But the rest of the party, have they died before? How many times have you died? Oh, it's my 3rd time this week. Anyway, as you proceed forward down these very old stairs, like you're on this sandy ledge overlooking a subterranean gulf of darkness to the west. There's sand, rocky debris, and the bones of small animals all over this place. And as you follow this rough-hewn stairwell that zigs and zags down the ledge and descends further into the darkness, you eventually come across. Shit. Oh dear. Sorry, I don't actually have your character tokens on this fucking page. Give me 33 seconds.
Your time starts now.
You can tell that, because I don't have them on this page, this is about as far as I expect you to get, clearly, yeah.
These rats were supposed to finish the job.
Right.
We're supposed to just jump.
So can I get an order of people? I assume Mr. fucking Metal in front.
He's gonna move in front unless anyone suggests anything else.
Alright, who's coming second?
It's fine by me.
Okay, who's third?
I'll go.
Yep, I'll bring up the rear.
Okie dokie. And I will bring you all onto this new page.
I mean, Mathias doesn't know that we have someone who's actually really good at sneaking, because he's not that attentive. That would be something else to do. Potentially.
Okay, so let me get the description of this spot here.
So what you're basically saying is that Mathias is ignoring everything that's coming out of my mouth.
Hang on.
Yeah,
He's not just ignoring everything that comes out of your mouth. He's ignoring everything that comes out of a sober person's mouth.
I thought he was expecting that to be out of character. If he was expecting that to be in character, then Mathias would have ignored the entire thing.
Was it in character or out of character? Raptor Okay, whatever. So, the narrow stairs empty into a small courtyard, apparently the top of what was once a crenellated battlement. The buried citadel has sunk so far into the earth that the battlement is now level with the surrounding floor. That floor stretches away to the north and south, composed of a layer of treacherous, crumbled masonry, which reaches to an unknown depth. To the west looms the surviving structure of what must be the Sunless Citadel. A tower stands on the west side of the courtyard, with a single wooden door.
Looks inviting.
If I was another character, that door would be gone.
That is the door. Thank fuck I don't have to deal with Lord Buckethead anymore. Jesus Christ.
What door? Am I supposed to be seeing something?
You're on this page, right? Oh yeah, bottom right, sorry. It's a bit of a large battle map, so there's a zoom in, zoom out thing at the top right of the actual map itself, so zooming out can help to figure out your location. You are at the bottom right.
There we are.
And hopefully you guys can see like where there's walls and such. Like the door should stick out, but the walls, it'll be kind of difficult for me to pinpoint them because they're not very thick.
Mathias is going to stop moving when he sees the door and kind of just look around for a moment. See if he sees anything.
Make a perception check.
Hey.
Fucking. Hang on, sorry.
Door like
No.
door.
Door?
You think you can like see fire, and then you realize you're holding it.
I would like to.
You may all make perception checks if you'd like. Okay. In theory, I should be using passive perception, but I don't like using passive perception, so.
Yep, definitely a door.
Yep. You all see that there is a door here. There's a lot of crumbled masonry to the left and right, to the north and south.
I think the door investigation squad has fulfilled its purpose.
Yep.
We found the door.
Vox not going to fight the doors, but you find them.
Stone cunning on.
Bollocks. You can make a history check for the sake of the like this structure. Now that you're seeing it, this stonework.
Oh, whenever you make an intelligence history check related to origin of
yeah,
stone,
so you can.
So how would I?
Wow.
So basically, make a history check. Like just click history.
Okay.
Well then.
And now
the dwarf knows everything about this stone.
There's no critical successes or failures on skill checks. Just saying. However, we add twice to your proficiency bonus, so that's a 24. And you know, I kind of have to give you something for that, I guess. So you're just like taking a look at all this stonework that's been here for a very, very long time. Now you can't necessarily tell how long, because I don't know that information and didn't think it through. However, you can tell it appears to be elven work, and it appears like it's very old, and it was also very well made, because otherwise it couldn't have survived its apparent slow sinking into the earth. You don't actually know anything of this citadel itself, because you don't live on this part of the planet. So I'm afraid even with a very good roll, I can't just be like, well, you know all about its history and why it was made. I do apologise. But, Elven make, it's been here for a very long time. And it is decent. It's sturdy. Like, you as a dwarf, you're looking at Elven work, and you're like, apparently. So, you're just there like, I mean, a dwarf could do it better, but yeah, they did a good job.
But can I go and try the door?
You may. Would you like to move your... Oh.
But if nothing happens too quickly, Mathias is gonna like stay right next to Darkness.
Well, then it's too bad that something just happened quickly as you stepped forward.
So,
as you step here...
Okay, never mind.
A trap door flips open.
Hey!
Hang on, let me just get a fucking pen tool.
Can you stealth while falling down the trapdoor?
Not really.
So, a trapdoor flips open, and you fall underneath it. And you are immediately, as you can see, in a pit with what I forgot to move. There we go. Sorry.
Triangle.
There we go. There's a giant rat in here.
They're bloody everywhere.
I'm gonna say Darkness, roll initiative quickly. Just you for the moment, as I closed the window again, but in fairness, I wasn't expecting a rat to happen. I wasn't prepared for this.
A rat to happen?
Yeah. Okay, so, before you can react, the rat bites into you. And I just closed the window again, for fuck's sake.
For a nat 20.
Can I potentially lawyer in that because my character has the alert feat, you cannot be surprised?
You can't be. However, you all just watched Darkness fall into this hole. Like, this trapdoor just flipped open and she just fell in immediately, and you're all like, what the fuck? Actually, I need to double check. Does this immediately close over, or... No, it does not immediately close over. However, as soon as you fall into the pit, you are attacked. It does crit. And you take 7 piercing damage immediately.
Ouch.
Darkness.
Okay.
As it's just fucking numb. Is your fucking... Okay, sorry, it was showing 5 plus 3 there for a second. I was like...
because I had to add it back on for when I got...
Yeah, but it wasn't showing 8 is my concern. That was weird. Anyway, everyone else can roll initiative now. Just to see if they react before, Darkness does. And I will add a turn for Mr. Ratto. And he got a fucking...
Wow.
14.
Oh.
And I will go straight onto Simon Tremaine's turn.
Okay.
Simon,
yeah.
you've just seen the tiefling step forward and flop down.
So I'm going to walk up to the precipice of where the flopping happened.
There's a lot of blood.
Presumably observe that there is in fact a rat down there.
Yep. She is prone on the ground. There is a rat just fucking nom 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 nom.
Right. Yeah. Gonna Eldritch Blast the rat.
Okay. So you all see just this beam of energy. What color is your beam?
It's probably just a generic
Cider-like.
whitish beam.
A generic whitish beam, so generic that you're so white and generic that you're like, damn, that's Caucasian. Streaks towards this rat and just like pounds into it. But it is not yet dead. But you're all there going, what the fuck is this drunk able to do? Mathias, it is your turn now. What would you like to do?
Mathias is... Well, I think this is possible, I'm not quite sure. But I think he is going to run up to the edge, throw his torch in, draw his sword, and jump down and go for the rat, if that's
You
possible.
throw your torch in and it kind of does hit Darkness a bit, but she's resistant to fire, so she doesn't take any damage as you drop a fucking flaming torch on her head.
Not on the tiefling. Next to the tiefling.
Yeah, well, you got shit aim as you just whip out the sword and go, "Ha! I shall defeat
I
you,
demand
rat."
to roll for this, though. It's fine, whatever.
No, fuck off.
Okay.
If you want to roll for it, there's a chance she'll take damage. Do you want that?
I don't know. It's my
Make your attack roll against the rat.
Alright, we're gonna have to figure out how to move again because I am apparently that stupid. There we go. I seem to be somewhere in there, maybe. Alright.
Yes. And you whip out the longsword and quickly just slice into the rat as it's going for another like lunge towards Darkness. It's dead. You've stabbed the
Slayer
rat.
of rat.
Wrong thing. So you can see that there are three bodies in here. The two of you and now Simon looking down in. You can all see that there's three bodies in here. Two skeletons that seem to be of goblins and one dead goblin. More fresh than the others.
Can I search the goblins?
You search the goblins. The two skeletons don't appear to have anything left on them. However, on the recent goblin, you find there's a scimitar, there's a shield, there's 23 silver and 4 gold.
Ooh.
Glittering prizes. Mathias will pick up his torch again and...
I'm gonna let down a rope.
How deep is this thing anyway?
It's
Should last that before jumping in.
It's like a 10-foot deep pit. It's... Oh wow, I was right. It is a 10-foot deep pit. I'm a genius.
Impressive.
So yeah, it won't be difficult to climb out at all.
Mathias is gonna look at Darkness, look at how damaged she is, and say, "Well, I can heal you a tiny amount, or I can save it until you're basically dying. So, considering we're probably expecting to be dying,
They're dying.
yes, but you're not dying yet.
Not
Dying
dying.
happens later." Not in character. If you go down, 1 hit point is way better after you go down than before you go
He
down.
is being mechanically correct.
True.
I mean, if I was being really
Technically correct.
sensible, I probably should have only used 3 earlier, so I could do recovery twice. Didn't think of that. Yeah.
So I grab the silver and the gold and
As
climb
you are
out
doing
this-
that and having that quick conversation, the trapdoor mechanism, you hear a like creaking of a few gears and it closes on top of you.
Yay.
It's one of those days.
Simon and Korp, the torchlight is suddenly gone as the trapdoor is closed.
Great, now I'm seeing in black and white.
That is true, actually, yeah. As opposed to the healthy orange glow of fire.
Well, you're the sturdier one. Want to jump on it?
Wow. Can I take a look from inside? Can I see any mechanism?
From inside, you can see some amount of the mechanism that you might be able to interfere with.
Can I get it to open up again from the inside?
Make a thieves' tools check for me, please.
Hey.
Oh, so you managed to, like this mechanism, you know, you're feeling, yeah, I can get to work with this. So you right now can open it. You can't close it because it is closed. However, you think you could try, but that would do nothing. You can open it, and also, if you'd like, you can permanently disable it so that it stays open.
Yeah, that sounds like a... Well, if I do that, will we be able to reach the door?
You can reach the door still. There's enough of a lip and such that you can get to the door.
Then
Perhaps
yeah,
my box doesn't show it accurately, but fuck it, it's there.
Sounds like a plan.
So you just wedge in there with your thieves' tools. You're coughing a little bit, as is Mathias, because you're in a small enclosed space with a lit torch. However, after a moment, the trapdoor swings back open. The other two are just there like, oh, they're back, yay. And it is now permanently stuck open, and this puff of smoke comes out. As the
So-
others have determined, you indeed vape.
So I grab the rope and climb out the
Yeah.
pit.
Well, there is no rope,
It was.
but you can climb out anyway.
Yeah.
Someone threw down a rope.
Yeah.
Or
Oh.
attempted to.
I
Simon
do.
put a rope down.
My apologies. I did not hear that. It closed on the rope, but whatever. You good. You climb out. You dandy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't suggest going in the. Well, actually, going in the pit now would be fine. But yeah, should have looked where I was going.
Mathias is just going to look at all his companions and question his life choices, and then say, "Okay, we've taken way too much damage. I am still alive, so maybe I should go first through the door, unless we have anywhere else we want to go."
That was kind of the plan all along.
Okay, Mathias is going to turn towards the door and just try and hammer it down with his left hand, for no reason.
As your left hand rises to hammer it down, you realise your left hand isn't a hammer, and instead you just use the door handle like a sensible individual would, and it swings open. Now for the really fucking pain in the hole part, I have to carefully map out a
Never
circle
trust a door.
with my fucking... Oh, for fuck's sake. I have to, like, individually select points to make a circle. If I fuck up one of them, it's going to be so annoying because I can't remember if there's an undo function.
Why would you trap a door but then not lock it? Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, this place is old as fuck. So,
Okay.
you figure that out. So, as you enter, the music kind of goes into what is definitely not part of a tense soundtrack, but whatever. As you enter, you can clearly see this place that I'm about to describe. This circular area is cobbled with cracked granite, upon which sprawl the bodies of 4 goblins, apparently slain in combat. One corpse stands with its back against the western wall. The spear that killed it is still skewering it and holding it upright. There's 3 wooden doors leading from this area, one of which you just entered through. A hollow tower of loose masonry reaches 30 feet into the air, but the intervening floors and stairs are gone, except for a couple of crumbled ledges.
When Mathias sees the dead goblins, he's gonna say, "We might not be the only ones here, I think."
Yeah. Well.
Unless dead goblins leave their, goblins leave their dead around. I mean, they're stupid, but I wouldn't expect them to be that stupid. Wouldn't they eat them?
But there would still be bones.
Hmm.
Unless they eat the bones too.
Is there flesh on these corpses?
There is flesh on these corpses. They are not old corpses. Well, they're old corpses, but they're not super old corpses.
Right. Mathias is going to... So there's 2 doors, yeah?
There are 3 doors, but 2 of them are the ones you did not just enter through.
Ah, yes. Mathias is gonna walk over to the middle of the room and look around and expect people with better eyes than him to look around. Because I don't want
If
to
you're
roll
trying to,
perception.
So,
anyone trying to find secrets or anything may roll perception as they enter.
alright.
Yay!
I can roll good skill checks, but when it comes to combat...
Hmm.
I see a stone.
Fucking Mathias and Simon, are either of you rolling perception checks, or are you just leaving it be?
And Mathias will look at nothing.
Wait, hold on, let me reopen that, and...
What did you do? Accidentally close the window? I'd never do that. All right, so you're all looking around, and Simon, you're seeing double of everything. Korp, however, you know you've got pretty good eyes apparently, and you do spot a hidden lever,
Oh,
Ooh.
like there.
right. I'm gonna ask, should I pull it?
Pull what?
The lever. I found one.
Can I check it for like being horrendous?
While they're looking at the lever, Mathias will move over.
Wouldn't that be an investigation check?
If you would like to investigate the lever, make an investigation check.
I'm going to investigate it as well. Just in case.
Yeah, I took a big fall. I got bitten. Slightly preoccupied by blood loss.
Neither of you seems to notice anything off about this lever.
Looks like a lever. Probably works like a lever.
If it was hidden, it might actually help us.
Let's pull it then.
It was like very deceptively like placed into the wall. So Korp pulls the lever. Are you pulling it slowly or quickly?
That makes me so paranoid. That question.
Slowly.
As you pull the lever, you see slowly jutting out as you pull it, a needle starts sliding out towards your arm. Presumably at that point you stop before it stabs you.
Oh.
But you can see that it appears to be linked with the pulling of the lever. There was also a rumbling in the wall as you began to pull it. However, as you stop and like probably reset it, the rumbling like returns and undoes whatever it was doing.
So there's no way I can pull it without getting stabbed.
Well, I mean, if you make a big enough stick.
You seem pretty good with the trapdoor.
Based on like how it's like recessed into the wall, there's not really a way to pull this lever without putting your arm in the way.
So what if I pulled it slightly and someone broke the needle?
You can attempt that. Rather, I will say that Darkness has the necessary tools/skills to attempt that.
Okay,
Teamwork.
I'll give it a go.
It appears that some traps.
Away from me.
So as you pull it out slowly, Darkness, can you make a thieves' tools check?
Then please make it good.
And stand yourself somewhere beside him.
Oh, I was going to stand the other side of the lever, if you see what I mean. But...
Yeah. So you quickly you manage to get to the mechanism, and you disable the lever successfully. You just beat the DC of that. The needle itself just kind of slides out and falls to the floor. It wouldn't be useful as a weapon or anything, but it's there. And now the lever is gone. And if you would like the lever, now the needle is gone. You didn't remove the lever. The needle is gone. If you would like to pull the lever fully, you may.
Okay, I'm gonna pull it fully.
You pull the lever fully.
More needles come out.
2,000 needles. As I go to my fucking reveal tool. As you pull the lever, a section of wall slides open towards the roof. Darkness, you are facing 3 skeletons. Roll initiative, please. As these, like, ancient warriors wielding, which appear to be, like, they're by default wielding bows, but they quickly switch to whatever other weapons they have. You lucky son of a bitch, you probably won't die immediately now. Oh,
yes.
What a shame. Let me just pop that out.
Advantage on. There we go. My lovely advantage.
At turn, manually doing everything because being a DM sucks and I haven't figured out a way to make it easier because that would require effort. Okay, so that is an 8, a 20, and an 18 that I totally failed to type. With that, as combat engages, Darkness, it is your turn. You're pretty fucking quick on the uptake here, and there's 3 goddamn skeletons staring at you. What would you like to do? Skeletals. Mr. Skeletals.
So I can move within 5 feet without attack.
Right now, you're not, like, you're close to being engaged with them, but based on the fact that the initiative was just rolled, you are not engaged with them, so you can move away without provoking an opportunity attack. I should also give the description of this area. This pocket chamber is damp and cold. The skeletons of 3 long-dead archers slump against rubble-filled arrow slits along the east and south walls.
Is it perhaps dank?
No, it's damp and cold.
That's what dank means.
Yeah, no, dank is for the
So-
memes.
If I move, say, over here,
Yes.
am I out of line of sight?
As you move over there, you can see part of this skeleton. It would have 3/4 cover from this angle. If you were to make
Okay,
some
do you
kind
know
of
what?
ranged
I'm gonna
attack.
just hide behind the tanky guy.
Entirely reasonable.
And,
Does
it's-
that provide cover?
It's gonna I believe people do provide cover, but usually at the disadvantage of the fact that you're using another person for cover and they're kind of stuck there being your fucking pillar.
and
From this angle, I'll say that you and the skeleton both have half cover.
Pillars.
And I'm assuming that I could take a shot with my short bow over the top of Korp's head. 'Cause he's not that tall.
His name should never be said with an S at the end. That is morbid. Yeah, you can take the shot. He's short. You're not gonna hit him.
And am I at a disadvantage? Because
You're not. You're not at a disadvantage. They'll just have an additional +2 to AC.
But then
But you will
Am
also
I
have that if they ranged attack you.
Because
They haven't gone
Korp
yet.
is near them.
Yeah, you would be at advantage.
So
As the whole, like you're at advantage if. Sorry, how do rogues work?
I think that's only if you go the assassin subtype.
I think that's for being an assassin. I don't think it's a.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an assassin feature.
Here comes the part where we all go reading.
Assassinate,
yeah,
starting at
that-
third
that-
level, you have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in the combat yet. So unfortunately, no advantage unless there's something else. Yet.
Doesn't fucking matter. You crit the motherfucker.
Wow!
Yeah, I did rule that you weren't engaged with them, so Korp isn't engaged with them either, especially since there's a gap there, so it is not sneak attack. However, you do successfully deal a considerable amount of damage as you just go dart over her straight into the motherfucker.
Now, can I ask a
Blinded him,
question?
if not for the
Do
fact he
I
has
now
no
lose
eyeballs.
an arrow?
Uh,
Can I collect them afterwards, or how does that work?
you now lose an arrow, and given the nature of archery, I would say you'd probably be able to get 1 in every 20 arrows back, and even then it's a case of, are you sure you want to use it? Because that's how fucking arrows work.
Yep.
I can
They-
confirm I used to be an archer.
Ooh.
I can't. I did archery for like a month.
I fired a bow for like an hour once. I'm definitely at the bottom of this chain.
Damon, what's your weapon use story?
What was my go?
I've played video games as an archer. Yeah, it actually is your go.
Right. How far can I move back?
You may move
Where's
up
the
to
room?
30 feet. This room is
30 feet. Well,
it's
35.
40 feet in circumference. No, that's not the one. Diameter?
Diameter.
Your diameter, yeah.
Right, so could I essentially move to, like, here?
Yes.
what
It's
would
odd, but I actually just want to get hit right now. It's like, yes, ranged people, go run away. I want to be hit by things.
Oh, that's what's how.
I also want you to be hit, but you're tanky, so it probably won't happen.
Okay. And I am going to use my bow again. Hopefully, this will be nice. Or is it? Is that still like?
Shooting at the nearest one, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shoot and like it had already like kind of stumbled a bit when it got hit in like the shoulder with Darkness's arrow, but yours just strikes through, gets it like through the open ribcage into the spine, and it just kind of collapses in on itself as it is totally fucking dead. Good job. Well, yeah.
Undead. Undead. Dead.
Restored to inanimacy.
With that, it is now not that skeleton's turn, it is his buddy's
Hey,
turn.
we killed one.
The skeleton kind of lurches forward, as does his buddy, because I'm just going to move them both because their initiatives are one after the other. And they both like they've got their bows in hand. One points towards fucking what's your name again, Mathias. The other one towards Simon, as you're about the closest people not in cover. The one shooting towards Mathias totally fucking misses. The one shooting towards Simon does better, but totally fucking misses.
Nice.
As like you just see their like arms just slowly like. It's a very weak shot from.
Are not known for their archery. Does not help.
Surprisingly enough, the story of Robin Hood, he wasn't a skeleton, and he didn't actually have one. Ooh. With that, it is Matthias's turn.
Not sure how that works.
Nobody mentions him having a skeleton in that story. You can't prove me wrong.
I went to Nottingham. He does have a skeleton.
Was he even from Nottingham?
I'm never
Was
going
that
to
all
say
a lie?
Matthias, I keep laughing.
Yeah, give or take.
So Matthias will, would like to move around to engagement with both of the skeletons. Tell them how pretty
Alright,
they are.
so you just charge forward into the middle of them and you're like,
close to them.
hello. Hello,
Yeah.
skeletons.
Specifically, this is for the effect of I get an opportunity attack if they run away. That's what I'm hoping to achieve.
I think they can't run away without moving you first.
They would need to like move back into their little pocket or like move around you and then run away. Which
They're gonna-
Yeah.
They're going to pick you up.
Yeah. Darkness, you kind of go, oh no, as your cover runs away. I was using that.
Yeah, he just wants to whack things. He will take a swing at the left one. Neither of them have taken damage, right?
Neither of these ones, to your knowledge, have taken
Yeah.
damage.
So
However,
he
they've
will-
probably been here for thousands of years, so who can say?
He will swipe at the left one. And drop his sword, probably.
You charge in the middle of them and you pull out your sword and you take a big swing, and it goes right through the rib cages because you were expecting them to have bellies.
Yeah, I presumably need to drop the torch somewhere.
I'll say you dropped it beside Darkness, but for the sake of the size of this room and the combat going on, I'm just going to leave it glowing on you.
Yeah, I'm glowing. Yay.
Now it is
Stuck it on like a hat.
now is the turn of the dead skeleton, who will continue to be dead.
Torch.
Simon, it is your turn.
Okay.
A flimsy
Okay,
arrow
so-
flew past your ear, and you were all like, "Whoa!"
Move slightly, and then I'm going to Eldritch Blast this skeleton.
Left or right?
Right.
Hold left click to ping, if you ever need to. The one on the
I
right,
wonder how that works.
That one.
indeed. Also, Blue Cat and Damon, you both have the same color selected pretty much. So if you ever want to ping
I'm
and be
going to
distinct.
change mine.
There we go.
All right. So would you believe a 25 just hits? As you all see another streak of this white arcane energy just fly out and blast into the skeleton, and it makes kind of creaking sounds like a cabinet would, but I can't because I'm not a cabinet. Sorry to ruin your
That was
immersion.
terrible.
Darkness, it's your turn. What would you like to do? Your cover just ran away, and you were all like, "Oh no!"
You're welcome to follow the cover.
I am gonna hide behind.
Is that...
You use your full movement to run across the room, this tiefling, and then you just go.
You could just see a
Poke
tail.
out from.
And I'm gonna shoot with the short bow again.
Make your
See
attack
how
roll.
it is.
You shoot with the short bow, and it just kind of dinks off of the shoulder of Matthias, like off of the armor, not doing any damage. But Matthias, you just feel a little pink as he's just like, "The fuck, guys."
On your shoulder.
And then I'm just gonna keep ducking down behind, so it looks like Korp has horns and a tail.
Korp, you don't know what's going on. You just know the tiefling's behind you, and you're not sure what she's doing because that was not archery. Would you like to take your action? Perhaps show her how to shoot a real bow.
Okay, so... Is there any disadvantage because...
There's no disadvantage or real cover based on his position, I'm gonna say. Like, you've still got a decent enough shot on
So
them.
this chappie to the left...
Yeah.
Let's see. how
Probably
this
the
rolls.
easier of the two to hit if I was to impose anything. A 13. Oh, just hits with a 13 as you shoot, and it like for a moment you're like, oh, I hit the helmet, and then you realize, nope, I hit the skull under the helmet, and there's an arrow sticking out of it now, and it looks ridiculous.
It looks like a unicorn.
Yes. With that,
Skeleton.
assuming you don't want to do any movement.
No, I think I'm good as cover.
Okay. So these two skeletons, they both just drop their bows and pull out short swords as they both start just trying to hack into Mathias. Quick question: is your armor class less than a critical hit that gets a 24?
No.
Wow, that's great. Wait, did I ask if it is it less than? You say it's higher? No. The first swings at you and it's just it misses because apparently there's an arrow in its head and that's interfering with its eyesight. The other one, however, does manage to hit into a chink in your armor and just rakes through as you take 9 piercing damage.
Ow. That
Yeah.
hurt.
You wanted to be hit.
Well, I got hit. Success.
This is all I ever wanted in life. Yeah.
Mathias is not looking happy. He's like, ah!
I don't think any of us are looking particularly happy.
I am.
Out of boobs.
Mathias
You don't count.
Mathias, it is your turn. If you were to glance behind you, you'd see a tiefling dwarf hybrid.
Mathias is not going to turn around. He's gonna
Probably a good idea. You've got a sword lodged in your fucking side.
A
like-
dwarfling.
He's not really going to do anything about that sword as he goes for another swing.
Left or
so
right?
the left one was hit, right?
Yeah.
But they've both been hit by something.
Really?
Yeah.
What hit the right one? Oh, the Eldritch Blast.
Yes.
He's gonna go with the left one, since that's the last thing he saw.
Make your attack roll.
That's really sad.
You swing, and then you remember,
Ow.
and while you're going, for comedic effect, you fucking miss. It's pathetic. The dead one will once again remain dead. Simon Tremaine, it's your turn. What would you like to do? You've all seen Mathias take an actual hit, and you're all like, "Wow, that armor is fucking useless."
Hey,
But
many
shit,
other
it-
things were blocked by armor.
But shit, it was 99 cents.
He's no
You
buckethead.
have to cast a spell now.
Oh,
An actual spell.
I have no idea what spells you took. This is going to be awkward. But apparently, there's a flashing light, and the
Look,
police are
we
there.
can find- Well, Dissonant Whispers is going to do bugger all. They don't have brains.
That's racist.
No, that's anatomy.
Okay.
Anatomy is
I've got that
racist.
H section.
Anatomist?
Vitalist.
If you'd like to click the spells so that it reads off the
It
text
doesn't
of them,
have for my first and second level spells. We tried.
you should have input them, dude. God.
Effort.
I put so much effort in, and you're just there like, nah, I won't even copy paste a spell.
Yeah, I can cast Hex on this one as a bonus action.
Neat.
So that is my one spell for the hour used up.
Wait, you've only got one spell slot at level 1?
Yeah, I'm a warlock.
Warlocks are useless.
That's okay.
So yes, he has been hexed.
Yep, and now I'm going to hit him with an Eldritch Blast, because that's an actual action.
Alright. I'm not going to ask what he's got disadvantage on, because I don't think it'll ever be relevant right now. Make your Eldritch Blast. Ooh.
That missed.
Unfortunately, your Eldritch Blast fails to make a mark, as you were too busy going all, Hex! Hex! Does your Hex take the standard, like, smoky black cloud style, or is there anything else about it? Maybe purple sparkles?
A drunken haze.
It's a drunken haze.
To the lot of you, it looks like there's just some kind of, like, murky brown, beery gas around this skeleton.
Yeah.
And you're all like, nice. With that, however, Darkness, it is your turn. Korp just showed you how to actually use a bow. Would you like to perhaps try and put that knowledge into effect?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you shooting the left or the right one?
I'm shooting the one that's hexed.
Hex won't do anything, but...
That hex won't do anything. However, if that's the one you're shooting at, then you do successfully manage to strike a mighty blow against it, and it just the arm falls off. But it was apparently it was left-handed in life, so that's not taking away the sword. And it kind of looks down and so like,
Left-handed, how sinister.
Stabbing still, because I'm a mindless beast. Well, not a beast, but you get the idea. With that, Korp, you're very impressed. The student has actually learned something. What would you like to do?
Do the same again.
You would like to
Wait,
do the same
wasn't there a
again.
sneak attack bonus on
And
that
I'm
last
gonna
step? Or is
go-
that
Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah, sneak attack. Add your sneak attack, sorry. Roll sneak
How do I do
attack.
that?
Just click sneak attack again.
Sneak.
Sneaky.
Where is that? Oh, there.
Sneaky tiefling.
2 additional damage. As you managed to get a stronger hit that, you know, still took off an arm, but also took off one of the fingers on that arm, so you feel better about it. And somehow that deals more damage. Korp, are you shooting the left or the right one?
I'll go for. Will I kill either one?
Depends.
Is that a question? Because I'm not going to tell you how much health they have.
Just thinking. I'll shoot at the left one.
You shoot at the left one, and it is a strong shot. The hole you had already made with the first arrow, you aim for that again, you get a weak point to the back of the skull, and the whole head goes, but with a lot more
Yay.
crinkling of bone as it collapses. Totes dead.
Totes.
As the other one, the one that did, I believe, get the crit, is still around, as there's this drunken haze around it. Its arm is missing, but it still takes its swing. It has no sense of self-preservation. It does have a sense of stabbing, however, as it does 7 piercing damage. Wait, hang on, what's your armor class?
18.
Oh, shit, that was an 18. It does 7 piercing damage.
God damn it.
Wow.
7 piercing damage. Mathias collapses to the ground, a bit of blood trailing off of the sword as the skeleton's just like... as it will... Actually, yeah, it's gonna like start moving towards one of you, fucking... I'll say, Korp, can it get that far? Hang on. Ruler. It was here. Yep, it can reach Korp. It's just gonna like walk up to Korp. It doesn't make an attack yet, but it's there all like, I'm a skeleton.
So what?
Mathias!
Skeleton.
Mathias, make a death saving throw, please.
And try not to die.
Okay, add a success to your death saving throws if it didn't do that automatically.
Not automatically.
Okay, so just add a success. Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Simon, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to move here, and then I'm going to Eldritch Blast. You're going to see this happen a lot. You're going to see
What,
me
you missing? Another streak of arcane energy as it like just flies off and hits the masonry and there's a bit of dust. As you're just there like, how the fuck do I aim? God damn it, what's aiming? There's like 5 skeletons, which one is real? Darkness, it's your turn. What would you like to do? The skeleton appears to have come up towards Korp and it's all like, I'm a skeleton.
I'm gonna just shoot it. I can't get too close.
You shoot it with the short bow, however, you're just there like, try not to hit Korp, try not to hit Korp, try not... Oh wait, I forgot to put an arrow in shit, and then that's your turn. Korp, it is your turn. The skeleton is close enough that if you try and make a ranged attack, you will have disadvantage.
Right, so I guess it's gonna be the little hand axe.
Because that worked so well before.
It will work.
Do it. How do you want to do this?
Hit his knees.
Well, that's all I can hit. I hit it.
You just there like, I need to hit it in the highest point that I can, and you slice through, the knees come through, and like now all it has is one arm left, and it's there on the ground, just a torso with the arm flailing, and you just take the axe, smash right into the skull, pop the head, it is gone. Right, I'm going to keep us in initiative for the fact that one of you is dying. Mathias, make a death saving throw again.
Like candles.
Add a failure.
Yep.
Simon, what would you like to do?
I'd like to do that, please.
Can I press F?
No, you stabilised.
Yes, you can.
That would do the trick, yeah. So Simon pulls out what appears to be, from the perspective of most of you, a hangover cure kit, but it also apparently has other uses, or at least he knows how to use everything in it well enough, that he manages to stabilise the wounds that, Mathias is currently bleeding out from.
There we go.
Just quickly patches them up, disinfects them, bandages them. And with that, combat is completed, and you're not dead.
So
You're
I
unconscious,
roll
but you're
a
not dead.
1d4, right?
It is 1d4 to see how long you'll be asleep for. And I roll it,
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Hey.
Oh, 1 hour, not too bad at all.
Yay.
Right. Think we can block the doors up?
You have a variety of corpses if you'd like to attempt it.
That seems something very necromantic.
I will say there's also enough masonry that you could probably use some of that to assist. If that's necromancy, I mean, like, every gravedigger is just a necromancer. then, 'cause
Necromantic.
it's a bit necro. It's not necro-man.
It's
That's a
morbid.
good point. Yeah.
Morbid, probably, yeah.
Necroconstruction.
Right. I'm going to assume you guys would like to take a short rest or something at this point while he gets his shit together.
I get my spell slot back!
I will be kind
Cool,
for the
it's
sake of the fact that I know what level 1 is like, and say that during this short rest he also gains the benefits from his, nap. And I will be right back in one moment as I take a quick bathroom break. If any of you would like to do that, now would be a good time. Alright, so for a short rest, you all... I'm going to say... Hang on, actually. Let's be reasonable about this. You managed to take... You block up the doors. You managed to take a short rest without anything interrupting you. You may all roll a hit dice to regain that many hit points if you would like, which presumably you would.
A hit dice.
Yep.
Yeah, you regain hit points equal to the number on the hit dice plus your constitution modifier.
So do I click the hit dice box?
Yes.
The D10. Okay, that makes it easy.
That should do it.
That is not functioning for me.
No, that doesn't
Hang on.
work for me.
So we open Korp's character sheet, take a gander. Hit dice. If clicking the D10 part of the box isn't working, just type in chat /roll 1d whatever.
/roll.
Whoa!
Oh, look
Yeah.
at you.
I have all of my hit points.
Yeah, you do. So it is that number plus your constitution modifier you regain.
2 plus 2.
Darkness is all our hit points.
2
Wow,
plus 2
that
equals
went
4.
well.
-1, that's 3.
Quick math.
Does she have all her hit points?
Oh, dear.
And I'm.
Yeah, it's green. Maximum roll.
That's
Yeah,
all I
and-
needed
okay.
anyway.
I didn't know what her max was. I didn't know. I suppose it'd be low. It makes sense. So, add on your hit points such that you are no longer dead/dying. Mathias.
Ah, yes.
Mathias.
I forgot to reduce it to 0 even.
I forgot to reduce you to 0 too. Oh wait, no, I didn't. I will say, after the hour that you've spent resting here, the torch that Mathias dropped on the ground has sputtered out.
Oh.
Because I'm pretty sure torches only last an hour.
Yeah.
So mark off a second torch from your inventory. That's right,
Yeah,
guys.
like-
Proper inventory management simulator right here. So fucking good. Let's go.
Oh. The skeleton moved.
Did he?
No,
I
he
don't-
didn't.
No.
Something moved.
Oh, presumably during this short rest, somebody might have wanted to loot the skeletons or something.
That's what
Probably.
I was just about to say.
Okay, so I will say I'll give Darkness first refusal on this. So as you go to the first skeleton, Darkness, you find... Hang on, I apparently need to roll this. You find 8 silver pieces, 3 gold pieces, and 1 +1 magic arrow.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
As you are the two other conscious people, do you both begin looting at the same time as Darkness, or do you let her do all the looting?
Mathias is gonna sit up.
Mathias is unconscious at this time.
Oh, okay. We're in
This
the
is
middle of
this
short
is during
rest.
the hour that the short rest takes. Yes. Simon and I almost called you Lord Buckethead. Simon and Korp. Do you both loot at the same time, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so. Simon, you find 11 silver, a +1 magic arrow, and 10 gold.
Ooh,
That's good drinking money, man.
that is a lot of good drinking money.
And Korp, you find 15 silver, 4 gold, and another +1 magic arrow.
So 15 silver
Yes.
pieces, 4 gold pieces.
Do be sure to mark those arrows separately to the rest of your arrows, because they are +1 magic. They're +1
Where
to the attack and the damage roll.
Where would I put?
Add them
Oh,
as a
okay,
new
okay.
add them as a new ammo item. Simon, as you don't use arrows, are you keeping yours because fuck the rest of these guys, or what?
Who wants it?
The slightly swaying form of the half elf is waving an arrow back and forth. Who wants it, lads? Come on. Gives a shot your arrow. Gives a shot your dib dab.
I prefer my knives, to be honest.
Okay, and I will offer a general direction of the dwarf rangers.
I was gonna say, and he throws it like a dart at the dwarf, killing him instantly.
Dealing
No,
and
I'm not doing it pointy end first as well.
Oh, what a nice gesture
Thank
that you probably don't, or you're not even aware of, because you're just like, which is the pointy end.
Yeah.
So, Korp, mark up to 2 +1 magic arrows.
How do I put them as +1?
Hang on, let me open up your character sheet and take a gander. So, how the hell have you had? Oh, hang on. Whoa, you went out of it.
It says jick arrows. Yep, they're jick arrows.
Oh my god, stop pressing the edit button.
Then did it do it again.
+1 arrow. There you go. Sorted. Quick, clean, and easy to tell that they are the +1. So those are what you want to use if you want something to definitely die. And also, in theory,
Where are they?
well, they've turned back into jick arrows apparently.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
jick
just
arrows.
replace jick with +1 when you can, if you can. Because I changed it and it didn't go through.
It's now changed to your one.
Oh, good.
So +1 arrow.
Yeah. So, in theory, because magic items don't break naturally, those could probably actually be retrieved. I might need to double check that, but I will for now just assume that they can. Anyway, with that, the 1 hour has passed. You've all taken gold off of these bodies. Mathias wakes up, and you're all looking at him like, you got hit now, motherfucker. Is that what you wanted? Yeah.
But Mathias sits up, and it's pretty clear this isn't the first time he's woken up from being hit really hard somewhere. But
It's actually how you all first met him.
That was really hard. He's just like, ow, ow. He's trying not to move, pretty much. Yeah.
Yowzers.
Fortunately, with the tender hand of whoever put these bandages on you, you aren't feeling as bad as you normally wake up.
The bandages do smell of alcohol, though.
Helps with the disinfection.
He sniffs the bandages and just looks completely confused for a moment.
But then he realizes who did it.
And it's pretty fucking obvious, yeah.
That's why he's confused. He's like, I was bandaged by a drunk man and I'm alive?
He touched you gently. Because he couldn't do anything except gently because he was drunk. So, the floor is yours. What would you all like to do?
Well, we got 2 boss names, doors. Which one?
Mathias stands up and says, pick a door, I walk through it, we go to our deaths, let's go.
You need to open it first.
Do we find anything about these doors?
Yeah,
Do
can
we
I
know
take a
where we
look
should go?
at the right hand door and see if it's trapped in any way?
Mathias is going to follow the one investigating the
First
things
off,
because paranoia.
right is relative right now. Say top or something, or the one
Top,
right in front of
top.
me.
The top door. The one I'm next to on the map.
Make an investigation check. And I will mention, because I forgot to earlier, that the goblin bodies have been here long enough that rats have gnawed at them, though they obviously haven't eaten them all. They were looted. And who speaks Draconic?
Me. I
I'm
think.
pretty-
No, yes, me.
At
yes.
least one of you does, I think.
I do.
Okay, anyone who can speak, or sorry, anyone who could read Draconic, which if you can do one, you can do both. You can see Draconic runes on the wall behind the goblin pinned by a spear that say Ashardalon.
Oh,
A Shardalon.
Yes, I forgot to mention that earlier. Anyway,
And would I know what that was?
make
Is it obviously a name or is it a thing? Or is
you
it...
may make a history check.
Oh, great.
Excuse me.
That was good.
You know that to be the name of a dragon of long ago.
Any more information on this?
It was a red dragon.
Red dragon.
It was a big dragon.
I'm getting quite excited.
That's about all you... Usually I'm the one who gets excited when somebody presents me with a big red dragon, but okay. That's all you can currently... Like, you've heard it mentioned, but you don't know him personally.
So did I see anything about the door?
Did you make an investigation check?
Did I? I thought I did. I didn't.
main history. History about doors.
That is going to... Wait, does that room not have a fucking... Give me a moment. I need to double check something, because I haven't got a number on this room. And they're all meant to have numbers. Which tells me what the fuck they are. That is the wrong map. That one doesn't have numbers. God, I'm so prepared. You guys have no idea. Investigation of 9, you don't find anything. There doesn't appear to be anything at issue with this door.
Can I do the same on the other door?
You may go to the other door and make an investigation check. Here we go. Oh, that room just does not have a fucking number on it. Okay.
Nope.
That also appears to be a door.
A door.
Can I
They're
make
doors,
an
guys.
Huh. I couldn't figure that out. Seriously, he rolled that bad on the first door.
I will say in this instance of like checking these doors, you trust the first person to check them. It appears that they are fine. Korp, you don't find anything at fault with this door either. The handles, you know, not dwarven, so you don't like that, but otherwise it appears to be a door.
So what do we want to do?
Okay, Mathias is, having seen that the doors were thoroughly inspected by the door investigation team, will attempt to move through the door they appear to currently be investigating.
Alright, you grab the handle, you turn the handle, you push the door. This door... Wait, hang on. What kind of door? No, this is a wooden door. Yeah, sorry. Apparently there's stone doors in D&D, and that makes no sense to me. But the door does open. And reveals a room that I will reveal now. So, the masonry walls of this 20-foot wide hall are in poor repair. The far end has collapsed, filling the southern section with rubble. That's this bit. The western wall is in much better shape than the other walls, and it holds a stone door with a rearing dragon carved in relief on it. The door has a single keyhole situated in the rearing dragon's open mouth.
I'm gonna, just... Can I move towards the door whilst checking for trapdoors on my way? Because...
Well, that's kind of what you did last
bad
time with your
history
feet.
here.
That's what you did last time with your feet.
With my eyes. With my
Perception
gorgeous
check,
black
please.
eyes.
I mean, don't be so vain. I know you love darkness, but that's 16. You don't see anything that resembles a trap.
Okay.
Yet.
Alright, so I'm beside the door now. And did that?
Mathias as well,
As
yeah.
you
Cover
stand
the door as
beside the
well?
door, make. Hang on, actually, I'm not going to ask you to make that same check. Matthias, hang on, guys, stop moving for a sec. Korp, can you move back towards the door? Matthias, can you be like halfway between the door and her?
Cool.
Cheers. You see quite clearly quivering in the rubble a giant rat, which thinks that you have not noticed it as of yet. Based on you, or at least that's what you think, based on the fact that it hasn't leaped out at you yet. It's just there quivering, like.
So can I use thaumaturgy to just whisper in Matthias's ear?
Matthias.
Sorry,
Matthias.
Matthias' ear that there's a big rat in the rubble.
An instantaneous sound that originates, such as a rumble of thunder, the cry of a raven. Yeah, that's not so much. It's not so much an ability to whisper to people.
But I can do the
Thaumaturgy. Your voice booms up to 3 times as loud as normal for 1 minute. So not so much a whisper as it is a fucking epic shout. Fusro da, motherfucker.
Or ominous whispers.
The fuck is ominous whispers?
It says cry such as rumble of thunder, the cry of a raven, or ominous whispers. So I'm
Well,
assuming I've got control
I
over
feel like
sound.
ominous whispers is less specific
Chinese whispers.
words. Like it's more like whisper, whisper, whisper.
Okay.
It's
Then-
not. It's not so much an ability to send a message. That would be the message cantrip, or the massage
But it's
cantrip
seen
if you
me,
fuck it up.
right? The rat's seen me.
The rat has seen you, but
Okay.
it does not seem aware that you have seen it, based on the fact that you don't really have pupils, or rather, you only have pupils.
So I'm
You
gonna
black-eyed
start
demon.
Wow.
looking. How rude! I'm gonna start walking back towards Cord, and do I get to make it that far?
Yeah, it does not jump out at you. I will mention his name is Korp, not Cord. Cord is the god of athletics. Slight difference. Slight.
And on my way
Only
past, I'm just gonna whisper to Mathias, "There's a rat! There's a rat!" And I'm gonna do the same with Cord. And
You just got his name wrong again. I just
Korp.
told you.
Why do I keep saying
Just
Cord?
think of the fish carp, and then think of the letter O.
Oh, carp again.
And then I'll just wander back towards Simon and say the same.
So how does this function? At this point, Matthias is probably, by his intent, literally just going to walk towards the rat if he can see one and then attack it. Do I need to? roll
Now
to
that
see
she's
the rat?
pointed it out, you can see it pretty clearly. It's just at the edge of your light, like the eyes are shining out of the darkness, where the
If
firelight
Matthias
is reflecting in
plans
them.
to chase it down, does that mean we roll initiative?
If you want to start running towards it, roll initiative.
Right. Yeah, Matthias doesn't like rats. He's going to be striding over to it very quickly.
Well then, fucking roll initiative.
Oops, sorry.
Everybody roll
So-
initiative.
Wow. Haven't you had like some spectacular initiative rolls, Damon?
I've got advantage.
He's got some very good rolls.
Advantage.
I've got you
He's-
have advantage on initiative rolls.
That's
As a
really
natural
cool.
explorer.
Is that the unearthed Arcana Ranger thing?
Yeah, I don't
That
want
is
people.
really good.
I don't want people using normal ranger because there's a reason Unearthed Arcana Ranger happened.
Yeah.
So I
When
will.
I first read the
I will say that Korp does not go first because it was Matthias who took the initiative action. However, since this is lined up nicely, Korp will go last, but he will still go before the rat. So, Matthias, you were striding forward. Valiantly.
yeah, Matthias is going to stride forward, drop the torch, draw a sword, and whack as quickly as he possibly can.
Okay, whack the rat.
Whacky whack, chop chop.
It's fucking dead, dude. Why did we bother rolling initiative?
Matthias, Slayer of Rats, screams
You-
another rat.
After the whispers from darkness, you were all like, "Okay, right, we've got a fight coming up. Okay, gear myself. Come on, get in the headspace. Get in the headspace. Right, guys, come on, let's go." And we're all like, "Yeah, adrenaline's pumping. I fucking
That's
wear."
right.
I just went up and you just Bookie. This
Yeah,
is fucking
like,
dead.
It's dead, guys.
And
Look
let me
at-
just move it out of the way so I can reach the buttons. And yeah, fucking dead rat.
Very
Sorted. Good job, team. Good job. Is this the epic adventure you all wanted?
Absolutely, actually. I feel like starting on rats is like mandatory.
It's
So-
either rats.
This is why nobody goes for dinner at his house, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're back to being the door investigation
yeah.
group now, right?
I guess.
Okay.
You gonna loot the rat, see if it's got any coin?
He's not even looking at the rat anymore. He goes back and picks up his torch he dropped halfway through.
Hmm.
So, did my previous investigation of the floor, did that
You-
cover
you-
any
you
traps
weren't-
on the
you-
door?
It did not.
So do I need to do that again?
You may make an investigation check on the door.
Wow.
23 and a crit. So you don't notice any traps on the door. It does appear to have some kind of very intricate lock on it. Like, you just peer into the keyhole for a second and, you know, after checking that no spikes will come out and blind you. But you peer into the keyhole and it does look like that is one hell of a lock.
So I just turn around to the
So,
group
sorry,
and-
that is one of the 9 hells of a lock. My apologies.
We're not sure which one. Probably upper middling.
So guys, this is like, it has quite a dragon feel about it.
The lock is a dragon, so yes.
Do you want to go this way? I can try and open the lock, or we can try the other door.
Well, the other door probably don't have as much dragoniness to it.
Yeah, I'm feeling the dragon. Like,
So I see.
You're all terrible.
Oh.
Yeah.
Half,
Okay, well,
half of this game is dragons. I can't believe you people let me fucking run it. Whatever.
if there's no objection, then I will try and open the door.
Make
Mathias says
a
no.
thieves' tool check.
You say no?
I say nothing.
Oh,
Nothing. Nothing at all. Just waiting for more rats.
Hang on.
Aren't you a paladin?
Yeah.
And aren't you supposed to be more, I want to kill the undead rather than rats?
Sorry. Based on the nature of this lock, you need to make an athletics check first.
The undead were too tough.
Okay.
Back to rats. Gotta train on the rats.
We'll
first.
keep your
Undead
thieves'
rats.
tools check.
Oh god, no. Terrible.
Athletics. Oh, okay.
So you do
Wow,
not
what's that?
successfully like. There's some force as you go in with your thieves' tools. You're still like, and then like they're not going into the fucking go in, you stupid lockpick. Yeah, they're not actually going in. There is some magical force holding them at bay.
A dragon.
Hmm.
Well, I
Might-
guess that settles that then.
There is in
There
fact
might
an
be-
invisible dragon there with his hand in front of the lock going, no, there's not.
We might find a key for it if we try the other door.
Alright then, have a door.
My tail is twitching like an irritated cat. I am unimpressed by the door that will not open.
Have a door then. I guess we're all going to the other door.
Fine.
Right, everybody, breach.
I was thinking the same thing.
As you open the other door, the trap doesn't exist.
You're evil.
I know. It opens to a long corridor, the same stone material that you've seen elsewhere, with 3 doors towards the end. I can't remember what's inside.
More doors.
No, I do know what's inside them.
One does not simply walk through more doors.
Look, this would have been a dream campaign for Buckethead.
Yeah, and
All
that is
these
why
doors.
I'm never letting Buckethead happen again. Oh,
Did
look
you
at that.
really play an entire campaign
He
attacking
killed
every
he
door
killed
you
like
found?
90. He got his party killed killing a door. That's how devoted he was.
Shh, I saved
Why
one.
would you? Why would you do
It was
that?
right at the start. It was right at the start.
In fairness, one of them fell down a bridge and then exploded because he rolled on the wild
Blew
magic
himself
table.
up because he
One of them
wanted.
antagonized a creature that was otherwise not hostile to them, and the other two were just there like, we'll wait and see what everybody else does. And he just wandered off and found a door and was like, ha, kick, and then 3 bugbears. I made kenku soup that day.
I killed them though.
You did.
Matthias is gonna wait up and say to Darkness, "Do you want to take a look around, see if you find anything here?"
Yep, absolutely. So I walk through and slightly paranoid about trapdoors. Can I check for any traps as I walk up to the first door at the top?
Make for me a check of a perceptive nature.
No.
Nope.
No.
You don't see anything that looks like a trap in this room. In fact, this looks like a very friendly and inviting room.
But I've made it to the door.
But this is the issue. You think it's a room. It's actually a hallway. They don't technically count as rooms.
I think hallways are a bit offended by that.
Is there any difference between the 3 doors?
Yes, they're, they're longitude and latitude.
They are all wooden doors.
Okay. No
One's made of oak.
weird locks or
With a
anything.
birch.
They don't appear to have any weird locks. In fact, they don't appear to have locks at all. Like, there's no
So I
actual hole for a lock. They're all like these. They don't seem as old as the walls, but they're still pretty fucking old.
So I turn around to Mathias and go, they look like doors.
I see.
Somewhere in the distance, Lord Buckethead rages. He wasn't even a
Buckethead a
barbarian.
berserker?
He wasn't even a barbarian.
Bye-bye.
He was just a fighter.
It was
should-
pure tank.
He should have been a barbarian, dude. It would have been so apt. Anyway, so yeah, they're doors.
Doors. Matthias is going to say, perhaps the door on the left first?
Should we go
I
for it?
assume people are moving if they're not saying anything? Okay. 3, 2, 1, breach! Goes through the
3,
door.
2, 1, breach! As you just fucking reef open the door and you're all there like, oh my god, we're so fucking ready to go. Guys, SEAL Team 6, oh my god, yes.
Yes!
As I assume that's how that goes. That's
Probably.
that number. You open a small room. Oh wait, hang on. Oh, sorry.
hallway.
Sorry. I had to fucking open the actual section for this. This door actually is locked. My bad.
Oh.
Retcon.
Yeah.
Matthias,
the
3, 2,
sto-
1.
The stone relief carved door sealing this chamber portrays a dragon-like fish swimming.
A dragon-like fish.
Apparently, it's a dragon-like fish.
As opposed to
Apparently.
I didn't
Okay.
write these.
Sure.
I just modified some of them so they wouldn't be stupid, and apparently I didn't check this one. Hang on, no! Oh wait, no, none of you have been watching me play Subnautica except Lucat. So yeah, it's a sea dragon, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sea
Okay.
dragon.
Matthias will turn to everyone else and say, it's locked. Locked door. Locked door here. Found one.
Do you want to try the other ones first?
What do you guys think?
Darkness is afraid to try picking a lock. In case she just can't this time again. She had difficulty getting it in, and she's sensitive about that.
Okay. Well,
What was that squeak?
Okay. Everyone mysteriously.
I genuinely don't know what that was.
That was between the lips. If you like, if it's like wet. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
lovely.
actually quite weird though. I'm not sure how you do that. Well, no one said anything in response to Mathias, so he's going to go to the other door on the other side and attempt to open that one.
That one, I'm pretty sure, does open. So, it
sure?
opens, and this ruined chamber stands empty of all but a litter of rocky debris.
And rats.
Let me actually reveal the fucking room for you.
No rats.
Just debris, as far as you can see.
You step in slightly and
You step in, your
look at
torch
the debris
illuminates the
sadly.
room. You are sad.
And if no one else goes in front and does anything, after a short moment, he'll look at the debris closer.
Okay, you go in. You there's a dwarf trying to wedge his way in just past you, and you just slowly just step one after a time into the room, looking at the debris, and it's pretty empty.
Nothing. All right.
Well,
Oh wait, you can make a perception check if you'd like.
Yes, I will roll.
You find emptiness.
Fantastic.
If you got less than a 10, it would have been you don't find emptiness.
wow, even I find the empty.
Yeah.
You find your dignity.
I had dignity.
He has not seen his dignity in a long time. He's pretty sure he insulted it and it went away.
If no one else interrupts him, Mathias will walk to the other door at a normal pace and go for this one.
Right, let me check if that one's fucking locked. That is that room. No, that one's not locked. So,
Well, I hope not, or we'd probably be screwed here.
Depends how well. the
yeah,
roll-
actually, that I was like, this one feels like maybe it should be locked, but oh no, it doesn't make sense. Reveal areas. Double check my map. No, apparently that was correct. Hang on, it's awkwardly shaped. So, crudely executed symbols and glyphs, scribed in bright green dye, decorate this large and irregularly shaped crumbling chamber. A large pit in the centre shows evidence of a recent fire. A metallic cage in the middle of the southern wall contains a gaping hole and stands empty. A small wooden bench draped with green cloth is next to the cage, and several small objects rest on it. A bedroll lies near the wooden bench, and the sound of whimpering comes from it. So the bench is about here, and as you can see, there is a clear sign of what the whimpering is. I am not on my ping tool. Sorry, the whimpering is coming from here, where you might see a certain creature that should probably be invisible based on the description, but whatever. And if you give me about 3 seconds, I will draw a fireplace. Ish. Yeah, fuck it. Fireplace.
Mathias will wait a short moment as his comrades will enter the room if they do so. He isn't actually looking at them, and will then slowly walk towards the whimpering without saying anything.
Okay, Simon and Darkness, are you both sitting in the back hallway having a chit chat? Or are you joining the party up at least near the door?
I'm
In
gonna
vicinity of a
step
door
inside
or door-like
the
Yeah,
object.
you step inside. Matthias, as you step towards the sobbing sound, a small red-scaled creature with a lizard-like face that's probably a kobold, but let's not get ahead of ourselves just because you've got meta-knowledge. Looks up from the bedroll, and it just goes. I'm not in the mood to make draconic sounds, but it's speaking draconic. Darkness, you can understand that the rest of you can't, unless you speak draconic, which I'm pretty sure you don't. It seems panicked to the rest of you. Darkness, it definitely is panicked to you as it goes. What? Who you? Who? What? Who you?
Mathias will respond to the utterances by standing back.
I thought you were about to say stabbing back.
Not that kind of paladin.
I will respond to these utterances by stabbing. How 98% of D&D parties resolve their situations.
Yeah, Mathias will stand back and look to see if anyone else does anything. Because he don't know shit about these.
So I'm gonna walk up next to Mathias and just say, "I'm Darkness. Who are you?"
I'm Meepo. I'm Meepo. Why are you here?
Hello,
Hello.
Meepo. darling, how are you? I just, you know.
Oh, darling, how have you been? I haven't seen you in months. Oh my god.
You know, looking for some interesting things. I mean, have you seen anything interesting around these parts? I know wine would be very high on our agenda.
Meepo not allowed wine anymore. Meepo
Drunk.
failure! And he starts crying again. It's just, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's sadder than that woman outside who lost her children.
Even sadder than that.
Oh, it's so much sadder.
So I just turn around and put my hand in front of my face. I'm like, guys, he's a little bit upset. He, she, it, they, not happy. I know, my dad.
Its voice seems slightly lower than you know, than the alternative that you've never met before.
So what did you do, Meepo, to deserve?
Meepo lost Calcrix. I'm pretty sure I mispronounced Calstrix. Whatever. It's the goblins took our track. Meepo was supposed to guide him, but Meepo failed. Sad face.
You lost what?
We lost our dragon. Meepo lost our dragon. Goblins took him. It was over there, and he points towards the cage with the big fucking busted open hole in it. And now he's not. Meepo's comprehension of language might go from that kind of I only know a few words kind of thing to seemingly knowing a lot based on how badly I'm doing the roleplay. By the way, just letting you know.
Okay, so guys, he lost a dragon, and is not happy. Meepo, did you are you like the door wasn't locked? Why are you here?
But no, Meepo forgot to lock the door again. That what happened last time. This why Meepo not allowed the wine.
Guys, we've got another drinking issue.
My drinking
Hang
is
on.
not an issue.
Give me a second, guys.
My sobriety
Hello?
is.
Fucking. Okay, chill. It's
Um,
not even 9.
Okay, well, Meepo, how many goblins are there? Maybe
Sorry, I'm back now. What?
Meepo, how many goblins are there? Maybe we can sort out this issue.
Okay, I'm going to be quiet now because I've just been told to shut the fuck up. Meepo not know there are many goblins. Wait, hang on. You want help, Meepo?
Maybe.
Give me about 3 seconds to double check my notes. Oh, wait. If Meepo doesn't know how many goblins, but if you promise to rescue a dragon, Meepo bring you to Yustral. Yustral if give you safe passage if you make nice. Yes. And if you promise to rescue dragon, Yustral make nice to you. Yes. Yustral know lots.
Who's Yustral?
Just everyone know Yustral. Yustral leader.
Okay. Guys, we've
How
got
you
an
not know
option.
Yustral? Come on, dude.
New around here.
If we sort out his dragon goblin, like he lost a dragon, if we find it and there may be some goblin battles involved, then we get to go and meet his leader guy and get safe passage. Sound good?
Sounds better than nothing. I mean, let's be
How
honest, Gobbo's
big
probably
is
going to
this
stab us
dragon?
anyways.
Yeah,
Big,
Meepo, is this like a big...
big,
Are we
big,
talking like old, huge dragon? We
No.
talking itty bitty?
no, was young dragon was over in cage. Was
Yeah.
I mean fit through doors.
There's a big range there.
So I just turn around to Mathias and go like tiny, like miniature. Okay, like it's cage size.
Alright. Well, we were told to look to look for things. I don't know if the kobolds actually care about anything that is a. I don't know, they're kobolds. I don't know about if these people care for any of the treasure here. We probably
Wait,
don't want to have a
if we
conflict.
find it, it's ours.
Works
Meepo,
for
do you
me.
have anything that might be magical or shiny?
Yustral knows. Yustral would. I mean, you talked. Meepo not even have wine because reasons.
Oh.
But Yustral have things. Yustral maybe give treasures if you save dragon. If you make
You'll take
nice.
him to the guy with the shiny stuff.
Yustral's not a guy. What the fuck, dude? Come on. Fucking patriarchy. Come on.
How do you know what I'm saying in common to these guys?
Oh, sorry. It's hard to tell when
Yeah.
you're speaking common or not. From now on, when you're speaking Draconic, literally speak Draconic.
Okay, so sorry, I can't. Are there lots of doors off here? And a
There
pathway, or
is
it...
one door, one door, one door, one door. Passageway that you can see about this far into because this is an archway here as opposed to a door.
Okay. Meepo, where did the goblins go with the dragon?
The way you came from.
Oh.
Actually, that's what we think. Meepo was sleeping. Meepo failure, and he starts bawling again.
I'm actually feeling sympathetic towards this little creature.
So I turn around
I
to
win,
the group
best
and I'm
DM.
like,
Yeah.
this idiot fell asleep and lost.
Oh, Meepo, know
their
that word.
dragon.
That's Meepo's name in common.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but they apparently came from the way the corridor we just came from. So, do you guys want to have a look around here before we go and sort this out, or like, should we just go
Well,
and sort out this dragon issue?
If big fiery lizard thing were in this cage, maybe we should check the cage, see if Gobbo's dropped anything. I mean, they're only goblins.
Sure.
Makes sense.
Somebody would like to check out the cage. Let me
Where's the cage?
there.
Oh, that's the cage.
Yes. Let me just get
So-
guns.
Perception, investigation.
Give me an investigation check. Actually, hang on. So yeah, it's fine. Whatever. The symbols on the walls are crudely formed in Draconic and read "Here there be dragons," which darkness can tell. The metallic cage is all but destroyed and can't be used to restrain captives, because there's a big fucking hole in it. And it's generally wrecked. A search of the cage reveals. You search through the cage and you find some white scales. Is anyone proficient in nature or survival?
That would be me.
Yeah, you can tell these come from no natural animal, as does everyone with half a brain. Even Grog Strongjaw knows that this is fucking dragon scales, clearly. Jesus Christ. So, can you make a check using either of those skills, please?
Survival or nature?
Yes.
I think survival's my best.
Yeah, I disagree.
Yeah.
So, you can't tell anything additional from them.
How big is the hole in the cage?
I mean, it's slightly larger than you, I think. You know,
Okay.
I mean, it's a fairly big hole. It's enough to like one of you can step through it fairly easily.
Right. And how thick are the bars?
They're fairly thick bars. I'm talking like thick with 2 C's. Actually, 8 C's. 8 C's of thick.
Oh,
I know, like it's a fairly sturdy construction.
Well, it was.
Yeah, fair point. Additionally, if you're looking around the room, you can see the fire pit seems to have charred pieces of kobold bones and armor.
Sad.
Charming.
Because they couldn't afford coffins. So sad.
Nor could the goblins, so.
So, should we try the other door? Go back to the locked door?
There's
Might
more
as well.
doors here, isn't there?
Makes sense to me.
So door there,
Where are you going?
door there.
Meepo says to you, the one who was
Meepo,
able to speak to him.
Didn't you want us to get the goblins?
Yes, but you had questions, and Yustral knows.
Oh, so you want to go and see?
Well,
Yustral
you want
first.
to see Yustral now, or what? I'm Meepo not tell you what to do. Meepo would get stabbed.
Maybe.
Guys, should we go and see this Yustral individual?
Hey, I guess.
Sure, why not?
Okay,
Meepo, darling, will you just take us there?
Yes, Meepo. Yes, and as you all follow Meepo, I will reveal the areas beforehand to simplify life. So Meepo takes you up through this corridor to a large main hall, which I will describe in about 83 seconds as I find the description for it. That is 19 and 21. Cool. I mean, there's no number system. Meepo takes you up through this kind of passageway up towards this main hall, and as he does so, he's shouting something in Draconic. Darkness, you recognise it as the word ticklecorn. Or at least that's what it translates to, assuming of course you think ticklecorn is a word. So if you'd all like to follow with your characters, he's just na go team, ticklecorn, 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 yeah. There's a number of kobolds patrolling down this large hallway, who look at you suspiciously, but you know they don't bar your passage as long as you stick with Meepo. There we go. And Meepo brings you before an individual. Oh shit, wrong button. So, a double row of relief-carved marble columns march the length of this Lanog large hall. It's a long, large hall. The worn carvings depict entwining dragons. And as he brings you up towards this point, a short throne stands near the west wall, constructed of fallen bits of masonry stacked against an old altar. On the top of the altar sit a variety of small items. The portion of the altar that serves as the throne's backs features a carving of a rearing dragon. A metallic key is held firmly in the dragon's open jaws. And apparently I accidentally fucked up part of this. Yep. Okay, so there is a kobold in a white robe, looking very regal and, you know, wearing some jewellery, and generally a fancier kobold than the rest. Certainly you're fancier than Meepo, who's wearing pretty much rags. And as Meepo reaches her, he goes, Just while Meepo bring visitors? They say they find dragon. Oh, and then he like kind of peers off and like is just looking at his feet, kind of standing to the side. Then he just like stands to the side. He's like, "Oh, she's gonna stab me. She's totally gonna stab me." And Yustra looks towards you and she says in Draconic, "Who are you to come before me? Why are you here?" And her voice is completely improv. I didn't plan this far ahead. So, Darkness, you're the only one who can hear her. Yes, go.
We were sent here, just really to have a look, see what was going on.
Meepo tells me you wish to find our dragon.
Well, I'd be very happy to find your dragon. I personally quite like dragons, so this is okay with me. But
we like dragons also.
good. Oh, you certainly got good taste. But I'm wondering if, you know, obviously every good deed deserves something in return, and I'm wondering what the return might be.
Okay, a sec. If you can return Calstrix to us, I will grant you a reward. I have many items in my possession that you might find appealing. And she like kind of half-assed gestures to the altar behind her.
Can we see anything on the altar?
You can see a number of items. Give us 32 seconds. I mean, there you see distinctly the key in the mouth of the carved dragon. There is a strange wooden token. There are a number of scrolls, and there is a small flask. You don't know what any of these do.
No.
Not from a glance.
Okay.
I'm
I think
presuming the
that's
flask
fair.
contains things.
Yeah, and shockingly, a key might be used to
Alcohol.
unlock things, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
And would you be able to tell us where we could search for this dragon?
The goblins took them. We don't know where Calstrix is. He's in the goblins' territory. We can show you a back way in there, past the traps that are set, that might be of use. But they have traps of their own. Otherwise, you could find your way around from a main area. Meepo can accompany you if you wish to be your guide. And Meepo's just there like, meh?
Sounds brilliant. Let me just confer with my team, and we'll come back to you. So I turn around to the guys, and I'm just like, so they're gonna give us Meepo, like,
As a pet.
the idiot's gonna show us the way. Hopefully he doesn't get us lost. We find this dragon, we fight some goblins, we come back and we can choose something off the shiny place. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to know?
We also... I can understand why this might not interest yourselves, but we were also asked to find a few other things. We might want to look for them at some point.
The was names, the armlet things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
True.
to dead people, and did the gnome want something too, GM? I can't remember.
So
The gnome wanted
What's-
us to not die.
I think her name was
Okay.
Sharwin Hukrell. Wanted you to find either her children or at the very least their
Yeah.
signet rings. The Arakokra want you to find magic items and, if at all possible, the bracers of the two people they sent in here before. And the gnome wants you to not die.
Okay,
Because she thinks you're good people and she's a fucking dope.
I can
God.
see why I would remember that one.
Do you think they might be slightly more amenable to answering those kinds of questions once we've returned their dragon?
Probably.
Absolutely. Makes a
Um,
great deal of sense.
you may make an insight check to determine if that would make them open up to questions you haven't tried to ask yet.
I would totally roll that insight, but I can't, can I? Because I haven't had any of the conversation.
Yeah, it's only Darkness who can really make this roll because you're the translator.
Mm.
Yeah, it's you've no idea. I mean, your knowledge of the subject is when you do things for people, they like you. But other than that, you can't really tell anything specific to this situation.
Would I be able to roll an insight on judging whether or not they're hostile at all?
You could try. I mean, like, you can certainly try, you know. I had
Yeah,
the
but-
certainly, and now it's a reference.
Yep.
I mean, their faces aren't typical humanoid.
Mm.
You haven't spent a lot of time with reptilian beings. They all seem to have a, scowl on their faces. I mean, as far as you're concerned, they've been waiting to stab you since you arrived here, but you really don't know.
Alright, then let's go.
So I just turn around to Ustral and I'm like, okay, that seems like a deal.
Excellent.
If Meepo can show us the way, then
I will
cast
await
your
your
side of
return.
traps.
I got very creepy.
And Meepo's just like, which way you want to go? There's two ways. There's the way around, and there's the way really, really, really direct past the traps. And I think they locked their door. Strad, did they lock their... Yes, Meepo, they locked their fucking door. They locked door.
Should we... Meepo, is the locked door the one from the corridor that we came out of?
No.
No?
Meepo does not know what's behind that door.
Okay. So there's a direct route past your traps, and there's another way through a locked door.
Direct route
That's
through
longer.
our traps, and I think goblin traps, and you know, I mean, it's kind of... what is... It is no kobold's land. That is the name of it. It is no kobold's land. And then there is long way around, which lead to other way in, not past no man's land, kind of. Sorry, no kobold's land, kind of just unclaimed land.
So I just turn around to the group and go, do we want to go the long and safe route or the short and tricky route?
Long and safe, get more information from the kobolds, and then maybe go back to the more dangerous areas if we want to look for anything in them afterward.
Also, if we go long and safe, then we're less likely to die.
Dying is bad.
That's what you think.
Not on my list of things to do.
Okay. Let's go the long and safe route.
Okay, Meepo bring you. And Meepo begins to walk back the way you guys came. He's all, oh shit, I accidentally opened the menu. He's all like steppity, 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 step until he gets like here. And let me just check if that door's fucking locked. Nope, that is not a numbered room, so it's not a locked door. So, he leads you into the bay. And as he walks into this room past the dragon cage, you kind of... no, Meepo, be strong, Meepo, be strong. Nice friends bring back Castrix. Nice friends bring back Castrix. And it brings you to this door here. All the way over here.
I'm just going to use the mouse button.
Are all these walls just like stone brick?
Yeah, they're all like this kind of a really ancient stone.
Right.
Hewn from the rock, or like constructed long ago.
Once everyone's gone through the doorway, can I just... Did the dragon scales get picked up?
Korp, did you pick those up when you were looking? Did anybody pick them up?
I didn't.
Can
Okay,
I just grab them?
You run over here, you just grab a handful of loose dragon scales.
Yeah.
And add those to your inventory if you'd like.
Might need 'em.
Actually, hang on, going back to... You do see, hang on the bench that you guys, like, none of you really looked at it. You do notice on the bench, like, there's containers of green dye, a paintbrush made from goblin hair bristles. You also do notice what you all kind of, like, step past before, 4 tiny jade figurines of dragons.
What? I'm straight back in that room. What do these look like?
They are 4
Dragons.
tiny jade figurines of dragons.
How tiny is tiny?
Are they all identical? Like, there's no...
They're kind of like... They're nicely carved. They're not exactly identical, but, you know, they're there.
It's the techno you ordered.
Cool. Well, I just pocket those.
Alright, so add those to your inventory.
Stealing from
Hang
them.
on.
Not from Meepo. Meepo mean no harm.
Can you put beside those S in brackets SS1?
Yeah.
I'm just marking for the sake of my own knowledge of what the hell they're worth for later on, if it ever comes to it. Anyway, Meepo stops you here and he says, Meepo, not go further than this room. Like he opens the door, but he doesn't step through. Meepo never been this far. They're way around. They're way to goblins, but Meepo think this is where goblins came from. Meepo does not go here.
Meepo, you sure you don't want to come? I can imagine that they'd be really impressed if you like...
Meepo will come. Meepo just wondering what you want to... You want Meepo step forward, don't you?
Yep.
Everyone want Meepo step forward. He steps forward into the room to about here. And gets vaporized by a laser beam. That's not
Wasn't
that
me.
room.
It was not me that...
So, this empty chamber is home only to rat droppings, crumbled flagstones, and stains.
Okay, well, wander in with Meepo.
Would you like to make a perception check? That's weird. Anyway, you notice that there are hang on, do you? Oh god, yes you do. You notice that there are tracks in the dust. Some made by rats, some by humanoids. Make a survival check.
All of us?
She's probably pointed out the tracks now, so anyone who would like to can make a survival check.
Let's see, I've got +5 to survival, but it didn't go well last time.
Yeah, Korp, you immediately notice, without even paying attention, that there are rat tracks, which are very recent, maybe a day old. There are humanoid tracks that are almost a month old, and were made by 3 or 4 human-sized humanoids, moving towards the north. As opposed to the,
Dwarf-sized humanoid.
Yeah, actually that is correct.
But no goblin tracks.
No goblin tracks that you can tell of, apparently. Huh.
Okay.
Goblins are not human-sized, are they?
No, they're dwarf-sized, actually.
Right.
Onward, Meepo. On we go.
Hang on, I just need to check something.
Oh, like a canary for what?
No, sorry, that's... I was wondering, because there's information here, and one of my rooms I apparently never fucking marked the number of it, but it's fine, I know which one it was. So, Meepo steps towards the north door, and he's dead now. No, he steps through into the darkness of another room. And I'm just going to leave that as square for now because effort. So, this is room number, that number. Ah yes, and I never drew this in because effort. Dust and off bits of stony debris and rubble lie scattered on the floor. An ornate fountain is built into the eastern wall, here. Though cracked and stained, the fountain's overarching carving of a divining dragon retains its beauty. A relief-carved stone door stands on the eastern wall.
I just gravitate over to the fountain going, ooh, pretty.
Okay, make a perception check, please. Yeah, you see that there is a mostly worn away inscription in Draconic on the basin's front. It reads, "Let there be fire."
It's a fountain.
Yeah, guys, this is a little weird.
Define weird?
I have a fountain that's talking about fire. Like it says, "Let there be fire" on the front. On a fountain. I mean, it's pretty.
Is there anywhere on the fountain where you might potentially stick an end of a torch?
Is there anywhere on the fountain where I might stick anything?
I mean, you could stick something into the mouth of the dragon that it appears that the fountain once, that would have been the source of any liquid. You could jam a torch in there.
Absolutely. Mathias is jamming a torch right up that dragon's gullet.
I step to one side.
Mathias shoves a torch into the dragon's mouth.
Yes.
Nothing happens.
Damn it.
Well, actually, something happens. You look like a tit.
Excellent. That will happen a great deal.
And which way now?
Meepo does not know. Meepo has not been this way.
Okay.
Goody.
So I would like to take a look at this doorway, checking for any traps on my way.
One moment. Korp has melded with a wall.
He has become one with the stonework.
I have become one.
You know what?
Yeah.
Make a perception
Good.
check to look for traps.
Tasty.
As you're stepping towards this door, you're looking all around you for traps, and you notice... Oh wow, it actually is... sorry, I almost got the position wrong. There's a slot in the ceiling just above the door. Like, just this, like, gap in the stonework.
Music fits this.
Does it look like something I could disarm?
You're not sure what's in there. If you looked closely, maybe you could...
Oh, so I have to do a separate perception check for that.
No, it's not a separate perception check. It'd be a case of, like... Kind of... I mean, you're not 10 feet... I suppose you could probably reach up towards it. You're not entirely sure what's in there. You could try and reach into the mechanism and start tinkering with it directly. Or something.
Time's up. Let's do this.
Randomly, Leroy. Alright then.
Time is up, darkness. Let's do this.
And I just look back at Mathias and go, there's something in the ceiling. Do you want to poke a sword up there or something? I don't really want to put my hand in. I like my hand.
Modular
I'm
bunch.
kind of attached to it.
Yeah.
Go on.
It's useful.
Poke your sword up into it.
Do you poke your sword up in there? You get it right in, come on.
Mathias will give Darkness a look with a capital L, and then move toward the slit in the ceiling and indeed poke a sword inside, because he is just
Poke your sword
foolish.
into it. It hits off of something inside.
Jiggle it a bit.
You jiggle your sword a bit.
Then.
Hang on. Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Come on, you.
Meow.
Okay. Nothing appears to go wrong or right.
Come on then,
Nothing
out of the
happens.
way, out of the way. And I like try and disarm or
You're gonna
tinker
get in
and
there.
investigate.
Okay. Make a Tinker's Tools check. Sorry, not Tinkers. Thieves.
These
Light.
tools.
Whoop.
Well then.
Oh, fucking Jesus! You were good at these. Yeah, that was a high DC, but you just slip in. You see the mechanism. You just fucking untink it, and as you do so, you pull out the large scythe blade that was attached to the mechanism, and you just drop it
Hooray.
on the floor.
Look, guys, big pointy.
Well then.
Mathias looks at everyone. Well, we ready? Sword time?
Presumably.
Mathias turns to the door, opens
Sorry,
the door. Goes,
carvings on the door show skeletal dragons, and there's a draconic inscription on the door that reads, "Rebuke the dead, open the way." And also, near the door, the air is noticeably cooler, and the door itself is cold to the touch.
Ah, the Frigidarium.
Yeah.
If no one interrupts Mathias, he will go through that door.
You pull on the handle, and absolutely nothing happens. It does not swing open.
Have you tried pushing?
You push on the
Mathias,
door, and
you
absolutely
push on the
nothing
door.
happens.
Okay,
There
Have
is
we
no
looked-
lock.
no lock.
There is no visible lock on this, just an inscription that reads, "Rebuke the dead, open the way," in Draconic.
Has anyone got any kind of like no dead spell stuff?
Well, I can shout at them.
Right. Okay. The doorway says rebuke the dead and open the way, but I'm guessing that we don't have anything for that. So should we just go up the hallway, see if there's another way around?
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that.
Guess we'll have to.
Very well. Towards the doorway, goes upwards.
Yeah.
Guys, there may well be traps along
Yeah.
here, so
I get knocked
I'd
over.
be disappointed if there wasn't.
As you guys were doing that, Meepo's just there at the fountain, and he's just like, he says in Draconic, let there be fire, while like just slowly, let there be fire.
No, Meepo, no.
As he does so,
Oh,
there's a creaking sound. And from the dragon's mouth comes a reddish liquid that slowly accumulates in the basin. What did Meepo did Meepo bad?
Well, Meepo did something.
you know, Meepo, maybe you didn't.
Meepo
Do
was
that
practicing
thing.
letters.
Yeah, reading is a very important skill. I go over to the red stuff.
It is red and liquid.
Guys, there's some red stuff.
So I see. I sniff it. Does it smell of alcohol? Is it fire water?
It doesn't smell alcoholic. It does smell spicy. If anyone is proficient in Arcana, they may make an Arcana check.
Right, hold on. Ding.
It's chili
Yeah,
sauce. For
this is definitely some kind of like the kind of liquid of a magic, like it's magical. It's magical liquid, kind you might typically find in a potion. And with a fucking 21, Jesus Christ, yeah. You believe that this, based on the spiciness and the general, the aroma. Yeah. I'm sensing a lot of, I'm sensing cloves, and I'm sensing frankincense and myrrh and a bit of gold. Wait, what the fuck am I listing? This is the liquid as part of a potion of fire breath.
So all we need is the bottle part?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you've probably got loads of empty bottles on you at any given time.
Yeah.
You bottle that stuff up, you may add a potion of fire breath to your inventory.
Huzzah!
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Meepo on the head. Pat him.
You give me... are you telling somebody else to do it, or are you doing it yourself?
Yeah.
You give Meepo head pats, and, as any creature in any universe does when given head pats, he looks very pleased.
I was totally expecting him to purr there.
Kobolds do not purr. Actually, it's my world. Of course they fucking purr. That's adorable. I love it.
So, has that taken up all of the liquid then, I assume?
He uses up all the liquid, and there's like no more left, unless you want to lick like the bottom of the basin for that last few dregs of fiery breath.
I'm not that desperate.
I'm just saying darkness might be. I don't fucking know.
Okay.
She's the
well
one
then,
asking.
Up the hallway, I guess.
Up the hallway. Are you still sending Meepo in front?
Of course.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be like behind him. I'm just gonna be checking. Can I be like close enough to him to check for like something that's horrendously going to kill him?
I mean,
at the
you
same
see,
time not being in line of fire of anything that I missed.
you see 4 violent adventurers around you, but so far they haven't killed him, so maybe he'll survive. You may stay like a step or two behind him.
If Meepo could make the fountain do something, can he not maybe do something with the door? Because Mathias has no idea how that worked. All he knows is people spoke strange dragon hissy noises.
And Mathias always says he's Mathias. He talks in third person. Is that right?
I'm swapping between first and third, like a lunatic.
Meepo, can you read the door over there?
Yes, Meepo, good at reading. Probably. Meepo practice every day, usually same sentence. We not have many texts. At least not once Meepo is allowed. He goes over to the doorway and he says, "Rebook the dad. Open the gay." No, Meepo. Sorry, Meepo, fuck up. Rebuke the dead. Open the way. Meepo has lost his power. Nothing happens. Meepo cannot even open door with magic words. He's such a sad little creature.
What he can do is lead the party at the front.
And with that,
Off you go.
he perks up and he just strides forward confidently as if he is the leader of this band of adventurers.
That's horrible.
Yeah, you guys are the adventurers.
Well, think of it this way. If he dies, there's no witnesses to the fact that Blue Cat was the only one to make the jade statues.
Okay, so, hang on, where the fuck is it gone? This section of hallway contains 6 doors, all slightly ajar. The area smells musky.
Oh.
I cannot read the word musky in an innocent context, I really can't.
So musky.
Yeah, so, the
And
doors...
there's a door on the left.
There are 6 doors, there's a door on the left as well.
Can I just take a look at this corridor and check for
Do you want to go up yourself? Do you
trapdoors
wanna...
specifically? But I mean,
Perception
traps in
check.
general.
Perception check. 17. This is a hallway.
Oh my.
With there's doors. You don't see any trapdoors.
And I just lean to one side and go, "Pick a door, any door."
There. To who? Are you speaking Draconic or Common?
Common.
That means she's talking to you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Matthias-
the one with I'm not the one with the heavy armor and shield.
Matthias will move forward and check out the door on the left.
Okay.
Without stepping through, try and look through it.
You look through into this doorway, and indeed you get a glance onto the one on your right as well as you're doing so, and all you see are these large, abandoned giant rat nests.
This is your time to shine.
Hang on, Blue Cat.
More rat.
Blue Cat, your perception was 17, so you notice tracks in the dust here, some made by rats, some by humanoids. Can I get a survival check, please? You also determine that the rat tracks are recent and they might only be a few minutes old, but the humanoid tracks are old as balls. Oh, hang on.
Well,
The humanoid tracks are almost a month old and were made by 4 human-sized individuals moving across the area to the north. Only 3 of those individuals returned south.
I'm
And
gonna.
Guys, you're in luck. There are some ratty friends here for you, I think.
Excellent. That got creepy for some reason. Matthias
We'll
will
make
walk
myself
up.
a rat burger.
As you step forward, actually,
Okay, I do step forward.
your
Go
light,
back 5 doors.
sparks a flurry of scuttering, squeaking sounds as
Wonderful.
as everybody rolls initiative.
Oh.
Success. Found rats.
Oh, for the love of.
For
The love of my advantage.
For the love of what, Meepo?
For the love of a +6 initiative modifier. Meepo's got a 3. Alright.
Well, he rolled a natural 1, so. Right.
But you wait till he hits something.
17, 19, and 9. Alright, so the 2 nearest rats immediately just rush out towards you. One of them's all like, "Squeak, squeak, I'ma bite you." And he fucking crits with 6 piercing damage. As he squeak, squeak, bites your ass.
I've already eaten 2 crits. That's really
Yeah.
painful. 6, you said.
6 piercing damage, yes.
Alright.
And the other one
Ouch.
also runs out just into the doorway. And deals... Your armor class is 18.
Yep.
It deals 0 piercing damage as it bites into your armor, and it's all like, my fucking teeth, dude, what the fuck? Because this rat speaks common, apparently. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, they do.
With that, Matthias, it is your turn. And, you know, squeak, squeak, you getting fucking bit, bitch.
The one on the right was the one that bit me, right?
Yes.
I'm going to swing at the right one after dropping a torch. Bang, bang.
Just drop
Donk.
that towards boom. Yeah, that rat, like, it was still, like, it still had its fangs in you, and you used that to your advantage, and it just went stab, and it's fucking dead.
Nice. Dead
That,
rat.
that, dude, your longsword's
should be
fucking
keeping a
effective.
tally.
Darkness, what would you like to do?
Does Meepo have anything to fight with?
Meepo, you notice, is holding, seeing the combat happen, he has just pulled out a small dagger.
Okay, cool.
How cute.
Then I run up beside Mathias and stab the rat.
Make your attack roll. You would have done excellent damage if you hit, but unfortunately as you're there like swinging, you realise there's a bit of a door in the way and you stab that instead. Well done. With
so
that...
the door takes 6 damage.
No,
Second
no, because she missed that too. It didn't actually pierce the door, it was just a scrape. As another rat rushes out from this room over here.
Second attack from darkness. It's possible.
Oh yeah. Do you want to make that second bonus action attack?
I mean, if you're going to carry 2 daggers around instead of a big
Yeah.
chunky weapon.
Oh, that does hit. Roll your sneak attack.
Nice.
So that's 1 damage plus the 6 sneak attack damage.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's dead. you stabbed into the
So
door.
surprised.
You stabbed into the door, and while
I can kill things!
while the rat, like its face, isn't used to making expressions of, really. While it's trying to make that expression, it gets distracted as you just stab straight into its fucking mouth, and it's fucking dead. Because 1 piercing damage plus 6 sneak attack damage equals dead fucking rat. With that, the last rat will rush forward, and because its allies are dead, it does not have as much chance to hit, but it deals 6 piercing damage all the same, as it just gets your armor
Wow.
class.
Oh my goodness, Mathias is in pain. Again.
Matthias is
dear.
squealing more than the rats were.
Yeah.
Korp, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Right. Ooh. Could I fire a bow arrow?
Would you like to fire the bow or the arrow?
Yeah, I'll fire a bow. I'll use the arrow to fire the bow.
Yes,
Let's
do
see
it.
how far this bow will fly.
The bow flies across the room, then the rope just wraps, the string of it just wraps around the rat's neck and just twists its head off. Is what would happen if you actually fired a bow, but you didn't. You fired a fucking arrow, so it's dead anyway, but still.
Yeah.
As that happens, and Simon presumably doesn't take a turn because they're all dead, Meepo rushes forward, stabs one and goes, "I'm helping!"
He says he's helping.
Meepo kills all 3 of them in one hit.
So the stories shall say of Meepo the hero.
As they all drop, Mathias is gonna be clutching at his wounds and being like, that really hurt.
You mean clutching at his ankles because they've been bitten?
Wherever the rat's got to.
As,
They've almost killed me. I think it's probably quite severe.
as you
I
see,
turn around and walk into the first room and see if there's anything in there.
okay. Let me just use my real fucking dice for this.
And
It's
I'll
probably
check.
easier.
I'll check the.
You find 2 silver pieces,
Oh.
1 gold piece. Sorry, that's the wrong kind of dice. And you find 2 gems.
Outrageous.
Hi, Tarek.
Truly outrageous.
And can you mark those gems with, in brackets, SS2? Just so that I know what they are for future reference. Korp, you were doing the same in a different room. You find 4 silver pieces, 3 gold pieces, and 1 gem, which you should mark with an SS2, the same as the first.
SS. Where do I put that in the equipment?
Just in brackets beside, in equipment, yeah, gems, and then in brackets beside that SS2. It's just a way for me to keep track of what they are worth without directly just saying, oh, that's worth 200 gold pieces. Because that ruins the whole bartering haggle situation when you're like, no, this is worth 200 gold. It says so on my character sheet.
That makes sense.
So walk back into the hallway. Has anyone else moved into any of the rooms to go and have a look?
Mathias is just, leaning on a wall and looking very unhappy. Which he usually does, but now he's unhappy with lots of blood involved.
Mathias is wondering why this second-hand armor that the Aarakocra gave him doesn't seem to be working very well.
Yeah! For like
and
everything.
He's beginning to realise why the inside smelled faintly of blood when he initially put it on.
That's why that is.
Simon, you're searching one of those rooms?
Yep.
Okay, for you, that is 9 silver pieces.
Hooray!
4 gold pieces. And 1 gem to be marked with SS2.
Yep.
Okay, well then I walk up to the top left room and I just...
Korp, 5 silver. 2 gold. And another gem.
But I pat Mathias on the shoulder with the tail on my way past.
Mathias, your shoulder is tail pat. As you go into that room, you find another 2 silver, 1 gold, and 3 gems. Mathias, are you going to that final room, or are you just choosing that wall to lean on?
No, he's just leaning on the wall. He's like really not very energetic at this point.
I wonder why.
I'll go search it then.
You find a lot of rat poop.
Ugh. No sign of any ring or armlet then.
Not in here. This room up ahead, the cobblestone floor contains 2 trapdoors blocked open by iron spikes. The north wall holds a dry fountain carved by an overarching diving dragon, and a faint rotten stench pervades the room. Hang on, let me mark those traps actually. They are jammed open. One is underneath Raptor, the other is there. They are both trapdoors similar to the one you first encountered that have been jammed open, similar to how the first... Actually, no, not similar to how. They've been jammed open with, like, metal or wood or something. Iron spikes, that's it. As opposed to via the mechanism.
Anything in these pits?
As you examine this one, it seems to be a 20-foot deep pit containing only rat bones, rusted metal bits, and filthy.
Filthy.
Apparently, I don't know if it's meant to be filth and I added a Y, or if I missed the filthy thing, but when I transcribed this, I wrote down filthy. So,
Okay.
It's
So I'm
filthy.
gonna have to gingerly step over this way.
Yes, you step to the side of it, quite sensibly.
And in this pit.
And it seems to be the same kind of situation.
Okay.
Maybe I'll gingerly step over this one and go around here and be like, big hole.
Mathias will hobble along behind other people, gonna shelter behind a tiny little dragon creature.
This large individual in armour just hiding behind a kobold in a loincloth.
Fairly certain he's more HP than Mathias now.
Turns out he actually has only 1 hit point.
Wow, that would
He probably does.
be a thing. That'd be less than the rat.
And I'm just, I'm gonna draw in that fucking fountain before I end up forgetting it or something. Fountain. That is my drawing of a dragon.
So sorry, there's a fountain over here with a dragon on it.
Yeah, you
Again.
can see the beautiful dragon. It's quite similar to the other one you saw, except this time it is a diving dragon. You walk over to the fountain of the dragon.
And take a look at it.
Make a perception check.
Mathias is gonna hide by the spikes where it's safe.
You notice a mostly worn away inscription in Draconic on the front of the basin. It reads, "Let there be death."
So I
Ooh.
say, "Let there be death" to the fountain.
In Draconic?
Explodes.
Yeah, in Draconic.
Okay, nobody move for a second.
Yes. Nobody move.
That is large. So, that's the correct colour. That feels like about 20 feet. So, a poison mist sprays forth from the dragon's mouth, filling a 20-foot cube and expending the last charge of the metal canister that you failed to spot initially. Make a Constitution saving throw. Everyone in that cube, including Meepo. Fuck my life, he's gonna die.
Meepo.
Wow.
Oh, he fucking made it. Okay, so
Just me then.
I would have been. I've got a. That's poison, isn't it?
that is poison.
If I was in
you're
it, I would have been.
Oh yeah, you're not in it though. You're the only one who isn't.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyone
my red
Seriously,
Lannister
even
dice.
with proficiency.
So
With
that's
a
cocked.
poisoner's kit, I
That's
didn't
gonna fall.
spot a vial.
Well, you do need to look for these.
Because it was a perception
I
DC.
did look.
It was a DC 20. Okay, so you all take 3 poison damage. If you succeeded on the save, you take 2 poison damage.
Mathias has hit the deck.
And you are
No.
Again.
and if you failed, which Blue Cat did, you are poisoned. You are under the poisoned condition for the next 10 minutes. And Mathias falls unconscious, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
The poison doesn't last. I just don't know if I can get rid of the cube. What's a good? That'll do to indicate poison.
Perfect.
So, are we taking a rest then?
Matthias is unconscious.
How long are we
Sorry, I assume immediately that yeah, he had escaped immediately. So expend another charge of that. I'm just gonna roll the real d4 because it's gonna be more convenient while scratching my back. Another 1 hour, and he will be awake.
I'm being dragged.
Thrown into the pit.
Unfortunately, I
He's-
need him alive.
He's gone down twice. He's clearly useless. Just get rid of him. Right, so you drag him away from the fountain, although it has already gone off. He's still holding the torch in his hand as if he doesn't want to let go. And as that hour progresses, that I assume you need to take another short rest while you wait with him,
Yep.
it sputters out. Although you're not going to get to take an hour's long rest, because the expenditure of this canister made some noise.
Oh, goody.
Where's the... Oh wait, no, that's... Seriously? No, I'm not going with the rules as written. That's fucking dumb. This... Wait, no, hang on. Oh yeah, fucking shit. Right, no, never mind, it's fine. It happens as was said. You get to take a short rest.
Cool.
Fucking... Oh, that's silly. That makes so little sense, but whatever. I mean, it does make sense, but now I don't like it. So, if anybody didn't roll your hit dice, which I think you all did,
Yeah.
then yeah,
I don't need to.
I don't think you have one left anymore anyway. After this 1 hour, Matthias is back on 1 hit point. Unless you'd like to figure out a position... well, once he wakes up, you can potentially consider figuring out a position to take a long rest.
We probably will have to make camp somewhere.
Meepo think that only Meepo should say fountain inscription. Meepo, very good at it. You, not so good.
You know, Meepo, I think that's a really good point. The next one we
Yes.
come across, you can totally
Actually,
say.
I forgot to take down some of his health.
No.
There we go.
So do we need to camp somewhere? Where are we going to go to? Are we going to barricade somewhere close, or are we going to head back?
Well, there's this room which only has 2 entrance points, or there is this room that we know is empty over here. I mean, it's not all that far back. If we go to the one, it was just full of rubble before we found Meepo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why not? Let's head back that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no traps that I need to set off on you again because you've disabled pretty much everyone you found.
Where are we going? This one.
Just follow Simon. Yeah. And as you all move to that room, yeah, we can continue on for another hour. That's fine, unless anybody has any reason to want to go to sleep.
I'll be
I do
alright.
have work tomorrow, so...
I do too, but I'll be alright.
Well, do you just want to keep going till 11, or do you want to call it now?
I'm afraid probably have to call it now. I am
Alright.
feeling pretty damn tired, so...
That is fair because D&D can be quite exhausting.
Yeah.
And as it's a long rest, it feels like an appropriate time. So just before we finish up, everybody heal yourselves to full, regain all expended stuff, except arrows, obviously, because that would be dumb as hell. And just, prepare for what will be a session in next week.